up here. Only loners. Only loners, dude. Only loners. You don't have to be lonely at lonersonly.com. Yes. Oh, that's so ridiculous. Okay, this is it. It's jam time, fellas. Let me make sure I got my volume up here. Ooh, shit. All right. So Mosey told me, he gave me an order of things. It was ridiculous just pulling up the links just now. I was like, oh my God, there's like 4 or 5 different videos here. He's like, you're going to need to see all of them to get all the new footage. I was going to start with Starian's video because Starian is my boy. That's my man. And out of all the press individuals that got a glorious chance to go to Prague and play this game, he is definitely the most deserving. He is a hardcore stalker if there ever was one. And I can't wait to watch his impressions, bro. Like my hype is up here, or high. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's clipping. So this is hype. But Mosey said bread day, and I saw the announcement ping, and I saw the size of the video, and I was like, okay, I think that this video is from the announcement ping. So bread day, let's go, dude. Let me pull up this clip. So jealous, but so hyped. So much media all at once. Let's go. Holy shit. Let me make this. Bro, yeah, it's the come to me chopper, bro. It looks like, or no, maybe, no, because I think that one might have been the one by the Agroprom. And wait, no, this does kind of look. But there's the blimp that's by Zalicia. So unless Agroprom is by Zalicia, I'm not sure. But look at the fucking shading on this stalker right here, dude. This loner looks amazing. You can tell these are lumen reflections, but they're so good looking. They're not like just amorphous blobs. It's like a pretty decent enough reflection of the rough geometry that you see. Like it doesn't stand out as wrong to the eye. Wow, this is just a beautiful composition. That bread looks amazing, dude. All the pores on that shit. Let's go. Okay, we're cooking, dude. Yo, is that Bandit smoking a ciggy, mate? What is he doing? Hold on. Oh my God, dude, you got the fucking anomaly right here. Yo, it's the windmill from that one fucking glorious screenshot. But this weather's going crazy, dude. Oh, okay, nice. Nice. Yep, this is like by where Richter was in that one trailer on the crane. There's the, yeah, we kind of saw this is that garbage angle. Yeah. Wow. Wow, it just keeps looking better. Look at the detail on these clouds in the distance. Fuck. Dude, we're eating so good. Dude. Like, wait, I haven't even gotten into the thick of it yet. Look at the gloves, man.
All the previous I watched said Stalker is by far the best looking Unreal Engine 5 game.
It doesn't.
ESC cooked on serious gas.
Here's the best part about it is it doesn't even look like an Unreal Engine game. You could call this X-Ray 3 and I'd be like, bet. Okay, I'm on board. Like, cause this reminds me of like what Valve did with the Quake engine when they made Gold Source for Half-Life. It was like so modified that like at that point they're like, it's not even the Quake engine anymore. They have cooked, and this feels like it's got so much of their own proprietary touch to it, like the customizations, like, yeah, at this point, yeah, I mean, it's yeah, no, it's not, it doesn't even like, it doesn't even feel like it's not something. Yo, wait, is that the anomaly from the 2018 reveal when it fucking contracts and bends the car? Tell me it bends the fucking cars, dude. Tell me it bends the cars, bro. Dude, that poppy field looks amazing.
You ready for the trailer that's probably gonna be
released
at the Xbox event tomorrow?
No, I'm not. I'm so... I've never been more happy to not be ready. Dude, that dude, look at like the smoky haze here just underneath it. Like, whoever said like this that there's no atmosphere... Everybody point and laugh at the clowns. Look at the fucking fog. Oh my god. That looks sweet, man. That looks sweet. It's just so beautifully composed, too. I wish I just had like a piece of bread to take a big old bite out of right now. What the fuck? I'm just gonna watch it one more time all the way through. Wow. Is this bandit trying to throw a bolt? Yeah, I think he's trying to throw a bolt. He looks like he's in like a rotating aiming position, getting ready to throw one, if I had to guess. Like he had it equipped.
Downgrade believers are pointing shotguns to the roof of their mouths are in. We have never been so back.
We've never been so back, bro. Like, what delay, bro? Like, no. All hail November 20th, baby. That lightning strike that comes down right at the beginning of the frame. Oh man, dude, even like the bread that, yo, look at that. Ooh. I wonder if you can get electrocuted. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if like you were in a more vertical location. That would be, there's so much of that granular detail in the game that it wouldn't even surprise me. Wouldn't even surprise me. There's the dense, there's so many more crows. It's awesome to see just how much more dense everything is, not just the foliage and the trees and the cloud. Like, wow. And look at like the gradient to this. That is that is just the best looking sky I've ever seen in a video game. Like there's no really understating that at all, or overstating. There's no overstating that at all. This is, yeah, like people bring up Red Dead Redemption 2 as like a benchmark in artistry, rightfully so. This surpasses that easily. There's so much depth and volume to this. This goes crazy, man. This goes crazy. Everything looks incredible. You don't see like one bald spot. Like, look at this, man. Look at these beautiful tiny flowers. Just like all the brush, the wood. That's like the best fucking log, dude. That's crazy. I really want to see these cars get crushed. They're really teasing me with this clip. All right, bet. All right, hold on. Yeah, stereo time, dude. Let's go. Hell yeah, my dude. All right. Words from the man himself. Out of everything I'm going to watch here, the word of Starion holds the most weight, hands down. This is our people speaking to us directly. Incredible. You love to see it. You love to see it. I can't wait. Let's go.
Привет, Stalkers. My name is Darren Costumes, and this is some footage from Stalker 2 that you have not seen before.
Dude, when they die, that sounds awesome. I mean, all right, don't take this the wrong way. It sounds incredible. Like the moaning death sounds, like it just makes it that much more realistic and uncomfortable. Oh yeah, this is hella quiet. All right, hold on.
Привет, Stalkers. My name
Is it just me? It happens really quickly, but I thought for like a moment I saw like the item pickup like thing pop right before he got into the gunplay. Maybe I'm wrong. Just this lighting looks incredible, dude. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you notice how you don't see like obvious artifacts like you do with other like Lumen software based GI solutions in other games. Like, this is incredible. You can just see this like finer detail, shadow, like, fuck. Just that light. Like, this is gonna look awesome in HDR. But this is crazy visuals, man. When I was playing the game, it was the same thing. I couldn't believe how smooth it was, and I couldn't believe how good it looked. And they just keep making it look better. And this is awesome, because now we're seeing like all these different time of day Oh, I love all the different times of day. Like the weather. This is getting sweet. Yo, Viper, my beloved. This sounds so fucking good. Audio designers are cooking. I'll say it again. Absolutely cooking. Poor Valve. GSC supremacy.
Well, who sent you? Richter or that asshole Zorik?
Oh, dude, the facial animations are looking a lot better. They are looking better.
And you might be asking yourself, how did Starion get this footage? Well, I was in Prague at GSC Game World's offices and I got to play Stalker 2. It's not the Gamescom demo. I got really to play the real
Dude,
game,
that's amazing.
and it was quite an experience. And whoever Stalker 2 holds up to its...
Dude, he must have had the most difficult time not like wanting to talk about it before today. I guess, you know, like embargoes and stuff. He was probably sitting there like, it's like my favorite Strelick line. If you only knew where I've just been and what I saw. Like, it had to be that the whole way, like without a doubt, no doubt. Dude, yeah, just the volumetrics of like when the guns are firing and like the smoke and the dust, it's crazy. I'm gonna end up replaying that clip again, but I want to hear everything that my man has to say.
Promises or not, we'll discuss in this video. Just a fair disclaimer for all stalkers out there, this video contains some spoilers. I'll put them at the very end of the video so you guys can avoid them, because you should. Stalker is always at the best when it's experienced for the first time. The first Stalker experience is always the most immersive one. And I think you should do this experience just like I did at the GSC Game World offices. So
we all wish we could play at the GSC offices for sure.
Because the algorithm also needs the watch time. So if you want to support this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and
always
join the Stalker Squad by subscribing to my YouTube channel, because we have already 1,000 people in the Stalker Squad. And it's just less than 1 month that we can finally
That's so crazy.
Stalker 2
It's
together.
so close
we will
now.
be in the zone, guys. Can you believe it?
No,
I still can't.
I can't.
But I'm so glad that we are doing this together. And today we're starting with some fresh and delicious gameplay footage that is so good you wouldn't even believe me. So just show you. This video is based on my experience of playing Stalker 2, and I've played Stalker 2 on different stages of development on different occasions. I've played it at PGA Poznan, Gamescom 23, and Gamescom 20.
That guitar song is actually playing at the campfire, right? I know he's like overlaying it with his voice, but I swear it sounded like more positional audio in that clip before he faded in, because my man did some good audio. It just nostalgia plucked in my heartstrings for a moment, dude. But that nighttime composition.
Oh, you playing Stalker 2, and I've played Stalker.
Wow. I love just like the soft light illuminated in the building, but everything is like dark. But you can see that is how you master nighttime visuals. It needs to be dark, but you should still be able to see. This is like an accurate moonlight as your eye would see it. At night, this feels very realistic, where unless you have light, these are going to be super dark areas. But the way the moon is casting down, it lights everything up here a lot more. It just looks so natural. It's gorgeous. Looks fucking incredible. Wow. Wow.
Stalker 2 on different stages.
Yeah, dude, that audio is coming from the guitar.
Of development on different occasions. I've played it at PGA Poznan, Gamescom 23, and Gamescom 24. So I have seen some serious changes. And one thing that changed the most is the thing that bothered me the most at Gamescom 2023. And that's voiceover and facial animation. My emotions towards the facial animations of Stalker 2 at Gamescom 2023 are quite difficult to describe, but overall I would say that the facial animations and the voice acting combined were just a little bit off. They just didn't feel natural. But on Stalker 2 at the recent stage of development, this has changed. And I'm quite amazed to see how much detail they actually put in the faces of the characters. You can see like the teeth, the lips, you can see them speaking, you can even see the wrinkles on the lips and the eyes, and this is so amazing. This is the stage of gaming that we have achieved.
Wow,
right
yeah,
now.
for
And I'm glad that
for I mean, I don't know exactly how critical this NPC is, but let me put it to you as a non-cutscene, like this is clearly gameplay, that does look a lot better. That looks really good. Behind Seven Seals, find information about Solar. Oh, dude, I bet this is definitely. Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's the first 2 or 3 hours of the game, but I think this is probably like right after the prologue.
STALKER 2 will be running at Unreal Engine 5, but can provide such amazing graphics and animation. Also, the voice acting was quite good, and the translation to English and to German was also fine, at least based on the few hours that I have played the game. Overall, the voice acting is good, the music really catches the atmosphere of the zone, which is also very important, and the characters feel more natural. Still, I have to get used to that new detailed face mechanic, because you guys remember how characters in STALKER looked back in the days. Personally, one thing that bothered me a little bit regarding that, it was the change from the idle animation to the speaking animation. So when you talk to a character at some point,
it's probably really rigid.
You would just be like in an idle animation. When you then asked him something,
kind of like snapped into it,
talking again, and you would have this quick jump like this. This is like a very minor flaw that can be fixed easily. What I also truly appreciated is the new Sunrise suit model. We have seen this in different screenshots and in videos, but I like the new model of the Sunrise suit, and I also like that they have different skins for the suits based on different conditions. So you finally see Sunrise suits that are dirty and used.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, always clean and pristine. This is a very nice addition, and especially I, as a cosplayer, fell instantly in love with this one.
Oh man, that's a great detail.
Much more vivid now, since it has more detail, and you have more variations of low gear stalkers. You have a lot of stalkers that do not have special Sunrise suits or special gear, but just like average gear.
Dude, this is so good. This is so good. All right. Oh man, this is what I need to hear. Yes, yes. Oh fuck, this is so good to the lore. It makes complete sense that there's going to be a lot of rookies that don't have shit. There's going to be way more rookies than pros or than professionals in the zone. There should be a large disparity just quantitatively. And having more diverse detail and flourishes and costumes to account for that, that's fucking awesome. That's so good. That's the type of thing you can never go back to the trilogy and yeah. Yeah, I'm not in the woods, but I've got a tent. Yeah, I gotcha. I read you loud and clear. I'm rock hard right now. This is perfect though. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this looks like this looks like furniture I've seen in the zone before. I don't know why. It looks kind of familiar. But, oh, I can't get over that. That's such a great detail. I love the way the guy is leaning against the tank here. He's probably just exhausted. He's probably had like the longest day ever. He's probably nodding out and he doesn't want to lay down on the dirty ground. This is more comfortable for him. He's just listening to his friend jam out. There's so much world building here where I can't wait when you're playing the game and you've gone through some shit. You've gone through some couple hard fights. You know, finish off a tough quest or two, and you come back and you just sit at the campfire and just kind of, you know, reflect on everything that you've been taking in and just absorb the game world before you mentally prepare yourself for your next voyage out into the zone. It's so good. It's so good. Like, this is all speaking directly to my soul right now.
Here that they use, so you can easily tell who is a more experienced stalker and who's just, you know, a dude who tries to survive in the zone.
Yeah.
As long as we're talking about the visuals,
wow.
Of course we have to talk about.
Look at the light on the tower. Ukritia. I don't know. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Ukritia. Dude, I'm practicing my Duolingo, dude. You guys gotta let me know if you want me to do a Ukrainian stream where I just like show you how far I'm in Duolingo. We'll just go through all the practice sessions together. It'd be fun. I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to learn more as I can, but
about the graphics. And
I want to know what this means. See, I gotta keep doing my homework, man. When I figure out when I get to the lesson that shows me that word and I recognize it in the game, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying when you understand, even if it's like 10% of what you hear STALKER saying. If you recognize even like 2 or 3 words, you're like, oh, like you feel a little bit of that sauce, man. You're like, oh, I need to go further. I need to get better at this. Like, oh, it's so good.
Map. The graphics and the map are just breathtaking.
Yeah, that says Bar. Yep, Bar Zalicia. Oh man, it's awesome. I love seeing, and it's dense. like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 guys just hanging out over here, not even counting the guys that we just walked past. And I love the lights and the different buildings. There's so many things that draw your eye and points of interest. It's really hard to get a environment to play good as a game, but not feel like it's a game. Like this feels like a completely real universe. I'm telling you, dude, they've been cooking. This is what happens when you give a game the time it needs to be perfect. And not everybody does that. This is awesome.
It is insane. Wherever you go, there's something to see. The visuals are outstanding. The new anomalies are beautiful. The mutants, well animated. Like even the dog, when he attacks and turns around, has an...
I wonder if, was that clip just taken from the Come To Me trailer? Or was that, because it looked like it's slightly different lighting conditions. I wonder if that's like press footage GSC provided.
Nice attack and turn animation instead of just like spinning around like in the original Stalker games. This is great, and it feels much more alive. The zone itself feels much more alive. Whoa,
did you guys notice how like the iris changes when you go outside? It was pretty strong in this particular instance, but you can tell just how much brighter outside is when you're in the building and you come out. And I've seen games do this, but everything is about cohesion, and all of these elements, they just blend together so freaking perfect, dude. I love this. They're not afraid to take color out of the palette and have this just a depressing drab green, like this brown, and it's also moody and like and scary. Like it's so good. There's so much variety to it. It's gonna make the zone have so many more unique variations, dude. Oh, thank you, Flower. Thank you, Atomic Flower. But I'm so excited. How is this like a month away? This was like this ethereal conceptual thing, dude. Like for years, like Stalker 2 was what your mind imagined it could be. And then they started to show us all of this incredible media, and you're like, this is insane. This is insane. You still can't believe that one day it'll be in your hands and you get to play it. And now we're closer than ever. Dude, 16 years felt like forever, but it also feels like it just blinked past, like it's like an anomaly. It's crazy. Dude. I can't wait to play. Please, if you're giving content creators early access, GSC, if you happen to be watching this, I love you. Don't forget, I love you more than anything. Please let me play. I want to play early again. I'm fiending, man. Oh, ever since Seattle, I need to play more. Dude, I'm having withdrawals. It's bad. I'm having withdrawals. It's bad. I told you guys I'm addicted to a game that's not even out yet. This is crazy. This looks so good, dude. I'm so happy Starion got to play this, man. That must have been awesome.
Said there's no location that I regret.
That's the boiler, dude. That's the boiler from Bolts and Bullets. I'm starting to get an idea of the map. Oh, wait a minute. There's the same helicopter that was in the bread clip. Look at just how different the mood of the scene is. But that's the stack by the boiler. Oh, yeah, baby. Ooh, yeah, baby.
Regretted visiting. Every place that I visit was worth visiting. Not only because it was maybe linked to a sound.
That sounds so good. Just the environmental effects, like the crackling in the sky, everything sounds so physical, and like the distance of the sounds feels correct. The volume of them, just like the sound is just as incredible as like the graphics. Like it all comes together, and it really just makes something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. This is fucking nuts.
Side quests, or because it has loot.
Somehow this is the only game I've ever been so excited for. That somehow had time go by so fast for it instead of feeling like
I haven't had excitement, I don't think, for any other game in my life like this. I can't remember the last time I was excited for a game like this. Maybe Half-Life Alyx I was really fucking excited for, but obviously that's, you know, within the past couple of years, it's easier for me to remember. Before that, I can't even remember. It could have been Call of Pripyat. Like, and even then, like, this is the big two. This is crazy. This is like, man, when you would dream of, when I would dream of what Stalker 2 could be, I didn't even think about the details that they've already made for this. It's like, this is better than what I could have even imagined. That is crazy. How often do you get to say that with a video game? That it really blew your fucking expectations out of the water? Like, come on. Like, there's been a lot of, you know, really good games that have come out, but there's so many that have been undercooked. Like, maybe they could have been something, you know, that, like, was more memorable. Like, dude, they're not kidding. Like, this game is like, yeah, this is another 16-year adventure. This is not a game that you forget about in 2 weeks. You're playing this for 2 weeks? Like, I'm just getting started. Are you kidding me? Like, it's probably going to take me so long to get through the story because I'm just going to be, like, crouched in front of a crate just looking at all the little details of the world and be like, this is awesome. Like, somebody, like, put this all together. Like, it's all handcrafted. No generative bullshit. This is the real deal.
Insanely well made. And I have no idea how many hours they spent into this.
That looks awesome. When I played, I saw the speckling of the radiation, but I'm noticing, like, this white kind of, like, hazy coming into the vision. Like, and oh my God, look at the lighting right here. This right here is one of the best shadow and lighting, like this in particular. That's crazy realistic. That's fucking nuts. This looks so good. This is nuts how good it looks. And dude, they toned the paint down because I'm seeing like 2 or 3 swatches here to say like, hey, there's a crate here, but it's not lit up. Maybe I'm seeing things, but that looks really good. That is a huge improvement. Oh man. Oh my God. Incredible.
But it must be a
thank God they gave this game the time it needed to be perfect. Thank God. I will buy so many copies of this game even just to give it away. I just want it to be success. It deserves the success. It deserves it, man. Like this, if this does not get Game of the Year, I'm gonna fucking freak out. I'm gonna be pissed. This is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. Like forget about it, man. Like what's missing? Like it's so good.
A lot because this map is huge. I counted at least 23, 24 different locations on the map that you can visit. Starting from good old classics like Janov Station, also Zudo's Tower is still there. The Cordon, the Great Swamps, Garbage, and Raider. Like both places are back. Also Rostock is back, of course, and some other locations that I will just spoil at the end of the video. Let me just give you a little hint what will come. Of course, if I use some cut content, because whoever worked on this game is a true stalker. Like the guys from GSC Game World are Stalker fans, and it's so insane because when I played the game, at some point you just visit the cave.
Oh, Swamp's Cave.
Stash, and you can.
I love the sound of that rain.
And while visiting the,
you could even tell as you're going into the tunnel if you're under something with like a hard like ceiling surface, whatever. Like the rain sounds different than if you're in it. Like I love those details. That's really what makes it. It elevates the immersion. Like people are like, that doesn't matter. It's like it does matter. It's so and when you have it, you see how much more it enhances the gameplay experience. It's so easy to forget how critical audio design is. Like most games, like they don't like, it's not like they sound bad, you know what I mean? But they're not pushing the envelope. They don't really take it as serious as something like this. Like forget about you. This is audiophile heaven. This is making me dead ass want to get rid of like to put these on the shelf and get some like Super Sennheisers. Like that has to be the bottleneck for my setup now. I gotta have like Peak headphones or something and get like a good amp for them. Like I mean, oh yeah, fuck, like oh, it's gonna sound so good.
Cave, you can see this graffiti at the cave wall. Does this graffiti look familiar to you? If it does, let me know in the comments below, and if you can translate it, also let me know in the comments below. Still, when I saw this, I instantly knew whoever made this game played the original Stalker series, and that made me so happy. Sometimes I have the urge to just like sit down and enjoy the atmosphere and envy the beauty of the world around me when I play video games. And Stalker 2 managed to evoke this exact feeling for me. I cannot complain about it.
Whoa, take me back. Wow, all right, cool. That's a lot of damaged guns. Yeah, this looks very similar to what I was playing. I feel like this is actually, these elements are even a little bit more detailed or like darker as well. They literally just keep applying these final touches. Like, it's kind of like watching Stalker 2 be made is like watching a Bob Ross painting, kind of, where like, you know, at the end where you're like, wow, this is incredible, you just made like a beautiful piece of art, and he's just softly whispering to you, and he's still just, and you're like, holy shit, like, look at all the extra details that are coming out. Like, just when you thought it was done, just when you thought it was over, he's like, it's not over, I'm not done yet, I'm still cooking. It's crazy. Then you look and you realize the episode's got 3 minutes left. It's that level. It's that level of insane. It's borderline compulsive detail. Like, oh man, like the people that worked on this, they're not just fans of of Stalker. You know, that quote, we stand on the backs of legends, dude. Who's gonna stand on their backs? The envelope, the bar has been pushed so much further that it's almost like for years they're like, what is Half-Life 3? We can't even imagine like how to, it's such a high bar to set. Well, what's Stalker 3 supposed to look like one day? Oh man, if I live to see it, it'll be the next best thing. Holy cow, because I'll be happily playing this until then for the next 10-20 years easily, without question. Like, there's so much put into this game that as I continue to learn Ukrainian and play the game and see all the little details, like, there's always going to be more for me to find. Like, the trilogy took me a long time, and you know, and you forget stuff, so when you go back and you rediscover them, it's like even better. Like, you know, you get rusty. Like, this is going to be a world to actually get lost in.
I cannot complain about the visuals.
But what I was going to say, I keep getting sidetracked, is I'm overstimulated to the max. It's so good. Is it cannot... you cannot understand how technically difficult it is to have Lumen GI be this stable when you've got bright light sources and dark areas. Man, every time I look at other games, like, it's not stable. It doesn't look quite right. It even like the end of the tunnel here, like, it looks so good. Like, I'm a broken record, but it really does. It just keeps getting better.
Graphics are amazing. World building is...
Do I think the game will be playable at launch? Yeah, it was playable, bro, when I played it in Seattle with the demo. And it's even more polished looking. Like, and that's the thing, is even with this footage, I'm not seeing anything. Like, I've got like a bit of, when anything's running on your computer, it's so much easier to pick up on, obviously, especially when you're playing. But even with the videos, man, I'm not seeing what looks like bad frame times or anything. Like, it looks like what you see is what you get. It's the real deal, man. Like I said, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I played the game. I still can't. I'll have it in my hands, tears streaming down my cheeks. I still won't believe it. It's a dream jumped onto my monitor. Absolutely insane.
Amazing. That's it. One of the things that I truly...
He goes, it's absolutely amazing. That's it. Exactly.
Love about Stalker 2 is the gunplay. And at Gamescom 2023, it was already good. Now I got the chance to try out more weapons. And I can tell you that you have all your average starter weapons in the game. You have the double barrel shotgun, you have the Viper 5, you have the AKs.
Okay, that was just the bolts and bullets footage. That's not new.
Pistol,
okay.
Whoever uses that thing, but it exists. And they all felt unique. Each gun had its own characteristics, and each gun felt like something you have to, you know...
Like, literally the only thing I can think of that can push the visuals even further to, like, truly be like that E321 is whenever they do the 5.4 or even 5.5 or whatever comes later. Who knows what they're gonna do? I'm not El Perro. I'm not the master of the guessing, but at that point, like, you can tell with the reflections, it's the only thing that really, like, stands out would be hardware RT. Whenever they put hardware RT in, and you know, Slava was talking about it in that one interview with Zach about how they have those plans. They you know, it might not be ready for launch. That's totally fine. That's totally understandable. The visuals here already have completely peaked comparatively to anything else that's on the market. Honestly, even if it's not hardware RT, still you could be like, oh, the reflections don't look as good as Alan Wake 2. Yeah, maybe you could say the accuracy is not quite as there, but this art design I still think is like super peak. Not to discredit Alan Wake 2 or other games, they still have terrific art and everything, but like the bar is really noticeably higher. Like this is a truly next gen game in every single facet. It's like they made a big world, but they didn't sacrifice any of the other aspects of the game to do so. Like the density of the world, the interactions with the characters, like, you know, even in that one spot where the two bandits get fried and then you go talk to the guy and he says, "Are you with Zurich?" You can see, like, even in like the 1080p footage that I have, I can still see like a lot of facial, you know, contortion, moving around, details. Like, just it that's crazy. It looks really good. Like when you look at something like Stalker 2, doesn't it just put like the biggest blinding light on something like Starfield, where you're like, ooh jeez, dude, ooh, what happened, dude? Like, yo, I'm so shots fired, dude. I'm sorry, but like, come on, like, the fucking difference is like, yeah, I'm thinking of the one clip of him sitting in the sitting in the audience after they announced it. Oh, it's so bad. I'm sorry, but like, this is what happens when you put passion over profit. You get a game that people will remember for all the right reasons. Oh man, it is what it is, boys. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Learn to shoot. For example, in the original Stalker trilogy, I always felt like I just could shoot, and it was more a luck thing whether I hit or not. But here in Stalker 2, I have the impression that I have to actually work with the gun to be a good shooter in the game. For example, to compensate for the recoil of said guns. And this is something I really enjoyed, because it gave the game a little bit more depth, and also it challenges the player a little bit. Speaking of challenges, the difficulty of the game was alright for me. I played it on medium difficulty. There will be a easy difficulty and of course a high difficulty setting for Stalkers, but on medium it was quite good. The game was
I love that, turning the light off to make yourself harder to see.
A little bit too brave. It also was very unforgiving. Something the more stealthy players,
I like that combat,
would truly like is the working stealth system, because when my playthrough I could sneak up on enemies, I could ambush enemies, and
the boiler room is looking so good. This is wow. I mean, I know the time of day is slightly different, but you can tell this looks so much better.
Normally, I don't even bother with stealth and Stalker. I just go in and clear buildings.
Everything, oh, the punch, the sound, the touch, the feel. It's so good.
Something that makes it a little bit easier is that you have those markers that show you whether an enemy has spotted you or where your enemies are. And also you have the compass on top of the screen. This is something that I think more unexperienced players...
Turning all that shit off, playing hardcore mode right out the gate. Right out the gate. Whatever the master difficulty, boom, let's go, baby. Yeah. Like, I want the most unforgiving, get good, skill issue game mode. That's what I want. That's the Stalker experience. I love that they've got a normal mode for the accessibility for people that want to come in and explore the zone for the first time, that don't know what Stalker is. They don't want to like come in and just get, you know, completely ganked like right outside Rookie Village by a boar, right?
The hardest difficulty turns off the HUD, by the way.
Let's go! Our prayers have been answered, baby! Right out the gate! Ah, yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love. Yes! Oh, day one cannot come fast enough. Oh, the hype is killing me, dude.
Or players who just want to enjoy the story of Stalker will appreciate. For me, I'll probably turn that off in the
You gotta understand, I'm the type of gamer who I will gladly replay a section if it truly is challenging me and it's not cheap. Like, let's say there's like 10 fucking bandits at that boiler factory and they're really difficult. You can't just like corner camp them. You can't do the old Shadow Chernobyl tricks. Maybe they grenade spam you like Clear Sky. Or whatever they do. Maybe the AI is just so razor sharp that they'll just move in on you and flush you out. I will gladly die 12 times to get through that fight and have more fun with the game than I would just casually playing a different game and going bah, 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 bah. Like, I can't even begin to fucking tell you how many games, and I'm not even like, I'm not even trying to say anything other than this.
IGN will hate this game and put 5 or 6 because of difficulty.
Dude,
Take my words.
I'm gonna be real for a moment. How many games do you play on hard mode and you still don't even die once? I'm just saying, it happens a lot. It's like they're so afraid to challenge the player that even hard mode is like, do you want the binky in your mouth or do you want to hold the binky so that you can hold my hand with the other one and talk? It's so fucking condescending. It makes you feel like, it's like this game doesn't even like respect me as the player. It's like, oh, let me show you how to play. Oh, in the hints on the loading screen, pressing R reloads the gun. Oh, here we go, kids. I'm just fucking transforming into Mickey Mouse. Are you having enough fun? It's like they have to like boil it down into something that like a beautiful piece of chicken, and then they boil it down into just fucking soup that you just drink through a straw, and they're like, do you like the soup? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going a little schizo unhinged right now, but like I just get so passionate about this because it's ridiculous how much this is the exception rather than anything close to the rule. And here's the thing, if these other companies were still like on the ball with making really good games, GSC would still be number one. Like, even if these other games are better, they're still not beating Stalker 2. But like, everybody's fumbling so hard and they're coming in with something that's not only exceptional, but it's a fucking masterpiece in like every way possible. It's nuts. It just stands out. It's like the second coming of Jesus. It's like, for years you have suffered, my children. Here it is, Stalker 2, and it's everything you wanted to be. And it's like when I would legit have dreams at night about this, and here I am watching 10 fucking second clips of it. That is surreal. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy, dude. That's actually crazy.
And I'm quite sure that there will be an option to do that, because
oh my god,
in the original Stalker games you could also turn off the crosshair, and you could also turn
TJ, my boy, for real, they're adding a new difficulty post-launch. That's one of two things, bro. That's either like a Master Plus difficulty, which I'm not as convinced. I think it's going to be an Iron Man mode. And that takes me back, bro, to my oldest streaming days of doing Master fucking Iron Man runs for Stalker and dying happily a lot. Oh, man, if they put Iron Man into this game, let's go. New Game Plus, no, fuck that. Iron Man mode, baby, one life. I love it.
Turn off the HUD. So I guess this will be in it as well. Improvements have been made, especially.
And if it's not, please put Iron Man mode in for me. That'd be great. It can't be that difficult, right? If you die once, the game ends, and make it say, sorry, get good. I play that for a long time. After I've like mastered the game, or I, put like a casual 350 hours into it, then you go for Iron Man runs, dude.
When it comes to the combat mechanic of mutants, for example, Flash was never a threat. Like, they were easy to hit.
Agreed. Yeah, like when I fought the Flash in the demo, it looked awesome. It sounded hideous. It was definitely more like threatening. But bruh, like, come on. I was able to take him out. It was all good. It's just a Flash, baby. You know what it is. Pro Stalker shit. I'm just saying, you know what it is. No. All right, but for real. Like a single Flash is not a big deal. But I feel like if you've got a handful of them and you're in like a confined space, whew, might not be so funny.
They didn't do much damage, and they were also slow.
Maybe next time.
This changed in Stalker 2. The Flash has a new attack. They pounce onto you. They really just jump onto you. And
yeah, I saw it, bro. They jump far.
Finally, you have to actually
there's the windmill again
to avoid them. Also, Poltergeist.
Ooh, dude, the way the dog ate those AK rounds was. Ooh.
A wall of
that Poltergeist came up right up on him.
Like,
dude, that's what it did to me in the demo. It was like, oh, you think you can just shoot at me and I'm gonna hide in the corner? The thing came right around dude, I've never been so fucking scared of a blue ball of light before. That thing came at me with a vengeance, and it's doing the same thing here. Mutants, way more aggressive. Way more aggressive.
A few shots and then continue hunting them. But still, this adds new experiences for our stalkers, because the
Oh
mutants
my god.
are different.
Why is it
now,
not November
and I love
20th?
the story of the game. The one point in this entire video I thought about how to discuss it without giving too many spoilers. So I will just stay on a very superficial level and stick to the info that you guys probably already have. We start playing as Skiff. We don't know much about Skiff. We just know there is a reason this guy can't go back to.
I like that. I really like when you've got to discover those details over time. There's like, you just know the vague details when you start. It's got that same special feel to it like Shadow of Chernobyl had, where you've got like these lingering questions like right out of the gate, and everything kind of ties back around later. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to Skiff than meets the eye. It has to be, right? Like, this story's got to have crazy layers to it, dude. It's already showing every time that they give us a snippet.
Past life, and that for some reason he has to work for Herman. At this point, the beginning of the game is similar to the beginning of the demo on Gamescom 2024. So this part of the game is actually canonic. We start a Skiff with the task to charge the scanner at different locations in the zone. When we go there, we trigger anomalies. But for some reason, it seems to be working. And after a few attempts, we managed to charge the scanner. On our way through it, we encountered different things, especially a scientist's bunker that for some reason has been cleared out. And people are dead. We don't know why, but it seems that something has gone terribly wrong, and that some things are happening that Herman would consider as unforeseen consequences. So
Half-Life reference, nice.
To almost fulfill our contract, but then something happens. But we wake up and realize the scanner is gone and our loot is gone as well. So the beginning of the
Dude, Starian's like his sunrise suit looks so good. It looks so good. For the longest time, I've got such a long list of things to do, and one of them is I've got to rough up my sunrise suit according to his tutorial because it looked so awesome. I think I got to make time for that. Every time I look at his suit, I'm like, man, he looks like he just did 40 quests in the swamps, man. Like, he's been through it. Man, the man is a true stalker.
The game is just like the original Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl experience. You start with nothing. I mean, you still know who you are. That's good. But you start with nothing.
I was gonna say costume, but
in regards to gear and equipment. And this is something I've always appreciated about the Stalker games, because the progression throughout the game is really something that you can feel, that you can notice. And I'm really curious how it will look in the other areas of the zone, because this area that we are right now is called the Lesser Zone. So I would be very curious to see how the Greater Zone looks like.
Hell yeah, brother, hell yeah.
We are this Stalker, and we don't know much about Skiff. We always get few snippets of information about him.
Snippets, I like that word.
For some reason, make us curious. We want to know more about Skiff when playing the game. We want to know who this guy is. We want to know his backstory. How did he get into the zone? And I can tell you, the zone is filled with story. For example, we meet Lance, a stalker who set up a workshop in a village in a lesser zone.
Oh, that's the red car that Mosey was showing me.
We don't know why,
Wow.
but we know it must have something to do with another stalker, because when we go through the village, we find a letter. No.
Holy shit. Bro, if you look at his sweater and you look really close, the little fuzzies that you get on a wool sweater are on his sweater. That is fucking insane detail. I have never seen this in a game before. Ever. Do you see what I see, bro? Do you fucking see what I see? Duh, look how many of the little fuzzies are there, bro. Take a moment, boys. Look deep. That's intense. That's incredible. Holy shit. And it's not like one or two of them. It's not even like, it's like, they're like, oh yeah, here, like, I'm gonna put it all. Like, there's no limit to the artistry. It's crazy. That's insane detail.
That says that the other guy should come over and visit him. And
oh, he's a technician? I like these facial animations. I know they're still, like, you know, refining and, like, sure, they could be a little bit better. But like I said, for non-cutscene characters, this looks really incredible. Like, we played the trilogy for so many years, and it's an incredibly immersive experience. And like Starian was talking about, you know, It was basically like, you know, the like the Canadians in South Park. It's just like like just the mouth parts jumping around for the most part. And we were fine with that for 16 years. It was incredible. Imagine spending 16 years now with this new magnum opus, this fucking perfect. This is like, for video games, this is a cathedral artwork, bro. This is like Salvador Dali, like my brain is breaking level artwork, man.
Possible for his condition. So it might be that he just like messed up, or that he left him in the zone and thus Lance lost his leg. At least this is what I could recall from a memory a few days after playing the game. Those little side stories give us insight.
Dude lost his leg.
Aspect of the life.
I want to play that quest.
We have not seen too much in the past games. It is the social life of stalkers and the social structures. Sure, we know the average stuff about
dude, the guitar music sounds so good. Each
other, or leaving someone to die, but
the trees sway so beautifully, and some of them don't. So that's, bro, you want to fucking talk about detail, boys? These pieces of foliage are completely static, so there's not a strong breeze over here.
Different, because this is not something that
this tree was moving and blowing in the wind. So even though you can't fucking see it, they have simulated all of the weather right down to gusts of wind. One game, bro. Name me one other game that does that. Come on, I'll be waiting. I'm waiting. I'll take a drink. I'll give you a moment. How many games have this level of immersion? This is simulation on another level, dude. This Cyberpunk has but the wind actually affects the individual foliage trees. If so, that's impressive as shit. It is a you know, a stunning visual game. But like, for example, in the original trilogy, all of these flags within like a certain circle or a field would be
the other game that does it, Half-Life 3, it's them 54.
They would basically flag all those trees to say wave. Like if you go and play Shadow of Chernobyl right now, you'll see like right down to like the base of the tree, like thick bark trees. They sway all over, whereas these trees are stable at the bottom like trees normally are, but like the top thinner branches have no problem swaying. Dude, somebody put in some serious simulation work, dude. This cannot be slept on. I refuse for people to not know that this is in the game. Holy shit. RDR2 was a really good simulation, but I mean, bro, but the detail though, like I said, like these more primitive versions of these systems have been around for a long time. Ghost of Tsushima did it for the foliage on the ground for the most part. Like I know I didn't play too much of it, to be fair. I can't speak with utter certainty. I know that, you know, you'd see like a general. You'd see a general simulation of it though, you know what I mean? Like they just make everything move around, whereas there's so much more granular. It's crazy, dude. There's literally, like when I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my god, there's like a weather, like all these different systems in layers, stalkers and onion. There's just so many layers to keep peeling back. Crazy, dude.
It happens right now, and maybe we will be able to know more about.
Yeah, for real, because Red Dead 2 really was like the detail benchmark for years. And that game came out in like what, 2018, 2017 maybe. I can't remember exactly, but it was sometime around then. It's been a while, dude. It has been a while. But you're right, like that was a game where Rockstar really put in so much detail, like to even the variations of the quests and stuff like that. They did a good job with a lot in that game. And for a long time, it felt like, okay, well, what could come next to top it? Here we go.
Conflict, and maybe even solve it. I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to it.
And dude, this is GSC Game World. Like Rockstar has bags of money, dude. Like obviously they've got Grand Theft Auto money. You know, they like Rockstar can just throw numbers at the problem, and obviously the bigger a project gets, it's tricky to manage. But like, bro, you can't compare that magic sauce to like with GSC. Like this is like the, I don't want to say underdog, but doesn't it feel like that a little bit, where you're like, dude, they're punching so far above their weight. This is crazy. Like this game could have came out and been great and people would have been happy, but great wasn't good enough. this game, if it gets anything less than a 9, I'm gonna be so suspicious of that review, dude. I'm gonna be like, do we play the same game or do you have a skill issue? Like, if this doesn't get Game of the Year, I'm gonna be so mad, dude. If this doesn't get Game of the Year, if I do not see it, dude, Maria better go up on that stage with Evgeny and the rest of the crew, and I want to see them. They deserve the glory. They deserve to have that moment, dude. I want to watch that ceremony. I need that. I need that, dude.
Because, you know, I'm the more role playerish guy in the zone. I want to experience Stalker as a role-play game and a shooter. And both little side the
Let me look at this one more time. Wow.
Guy
I love the glasses.
I want to
You didn't really see a lot of Stalkers with glasses before.
And a shooter. And those little side quests, those little snippets of information just contribute to the immersion. And this game is really immersive as it is. Speaking of immersion, the atmosphere is great because things have changed. It used to be great in the past, but now something else has happened.
I'm not even going to disagree with you there, dude. Yeah, because you know GTA 6 is not going to have a PC day one launch. Unbelievable. But you know what? Because they know people will buy a console just to play that game. It is... Don't get me started.
There's a new faction in the zone, and this faction is much stronger than the other ones.
Don't want the innocent to suffer?
Then help me find the culprit!
I'll just do so much. This might be pretty interesting because we have a system of factions in the game. I just don't know how it exactly plays out, but the dynamics of factions will be very interesting, and this can really stir up the gameplay a lot. It will add a lot of dynamics, and
they're already beginning work on the first DLC expansion. That's how you know without a shadow of a doubt. See what I did there? That there's no delays. Like, I mean, obviously there's no delays, but there's no delays, right? If they're already working on the first DLC, they're cooking. I can feel it in my bones. Why do I have the feeling that the game is going to come out? It's going to be so awesome, but the game's not even going to be out for like 2 weeks, maybe a month before they drop like a first major like update or patch. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they'll be working on this like through the launch. It's I only have one concern for patches and updates. Please don't break my save game. But if you do, so be it. Such is life in the zone. I will replay happily.
I'm curious to see how it will work out, especially with having one big overlord faction that all ours have to deal with. In many cases, you need different puzzle pieces to put together the entire
Gordon
story.
Freeman in the flesh, or rather in the loner suit. What? Dude, that looks like a, you know, they did the Gordon reference in the Wild Territory for Shadow Chernobyl. This really does look like the spitting image of my man. He said, man, Half-Life 3 was in the zone. I've been hanging out here for years. Look at the shadow on this guy's face. The way the hood occludes the light, the way it hits the boards, his Siggy, the shadows are so rich, but then there's the gradient, the moonlight on, oh man. And like, look at the color of this light. It's more of that yellow because it's coming from an incandescent bulb, but this blue light is more from the environment and the moonlight. Like this is fucking crazy. I'm losing my shit. I can't even believe this. I don't even have eloquent enough words to describe how impeccable this is. This is a flawless masterpiece. Holy shit. They cooked. I'm so glad. Oh my god, I'm so glad they gave it all the time it needed.
3.
Oh my god. I would not have let this game come out a day sooner if it meant it would be less than this. Like I said, I probably still would have been happy, but I mean, oh, you've spoiled me, GSC. Oh, you have clearly spoiled me, bro.
And Stalker 2, it is hard.
Like, look at even the variation in these suits. The gear is unique. They look like unique characters, but you can tell that they're both still pretty rookie, dude. Fuck!
To tell who is right or wrong. And this is something I really enjoy. The zone, for me, was always
the way that door opened looked interesting. Why do I get the feeling that was immediately about to flow into a cutscene? Hold on. I can't let go of that now.
Work out, especially with having one big overlord faction that all ours have to deal with. In many cases, you need different puzzle pieces to put together the entire story. But in Stalker 2, it is hard to tell who is right or wrong, and this is something I really enjoy. The zone, for me,
They just look so good. I'm just freaking out at this point.
Uncertainty. You don't know who is right or wrong. You don't know who you can trust or not. And Stalker 2 picks up on...
I'm gonna say it right now. Richter, this man right here, I trust this man with my life. You can't trust everybody in the zone, but we love Richter here, baby. Woo! And if he betrays me, no, Richter, don't betray me. I won't be ready for that. That's not a plot twist that I'm putting on my bingo card. Richter gang, rise up. He could never betray us. Right? Right?
That quite well. In the first hours of gameplay, you don't know which characters are honest and honorable, and which ones are just thieves and scammers.
And Scar gang. Clear Sky gang.
As said, I didn't see Sidorovich yet, but he seems to exist. He's mentioned by one of the characters. Overall, we won't get rid of Sidorovich.
I cannot wait to see him.
Like
I cannot wait to see Sid.
Of the uncertainty in the zone. So sometimes you have to think if you want to interact, if you want to get involved in a situation, or if you just prefer to, you know,
can never
let the zone do its thing.
Oh my god, how could you say such a thing?
Business. That's life in the zone. Stalker 2 picks up quite well on that and forced me through several occasions where I was not sure whether I was doing the right or wrong thing. And overall, I guess I will just find out in my playthrough.
I love how morally ambiguous Stalker is. Strellick wasn't even completely sure of himself in the true ending if he made the right decision. The C consciousness is not the most stereotypical bad guy thing. They were genuinely trying to move to the next step of removing all of these, what they deemed is morally limiting and negative emotions from people to do the kind of the classic thing, right? Of like searching for a utopia type of existence. Maybe like a little cliche, but there was so much more nuance to the way it was implemented in the story that there was no clearly defined decisions. And I love that because it's so fucking annoying when, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm using this as an example, like the original Fable. Great game. I loved Fable back in the day. The original one, Peter Molyneux really got us gassed up and then under-delivered, but it's okay. It was still a fun game, but it was a comical game, but it was like, do you want to be good or do you want to be bad, Sonny Jim? And being in the middle basically meant that you were a guy who had demon horns, but you occasionally helped out people and slaughtered people indiscriminately, depending on how you felt Tuesday. Like, that's basically the extent of that system, and it feels like a lot of games have never really gone super far past that. It's like there's this tension that developers have where they want to show you a story the way they want you to see it really badly, and that confines you to something that ends up being more linear a lot of the times, or it just doesn't land.
Factions also define that morality in the best way possible with different points of view instead of how they did it in New Vegas.
Word. I mean, it's even in the factions. I mean, like, I goof all the time on duty because that's the meme, that's what you do, and I love freedom and all that. But yeah, it was awesome to have a faction with that ideology, as well as the scientists, the mercenaries, and the demographics that would come along with that. I'm expecting to see more diverse characters as mercenaries in this game, just because of the fact that they're mercenaries. So they're probably coming from like other locations other than the indigenous people, you know? It's going to be really interesting because that is the type of detail that you're like, fuck, man, that this world is like, this is like a real living, breathing world, and you can get super immersed in it to the max. It will soak you in as much as you allow it to. Like, and this is artistry and artwork that, like, you know, like, this is absolute cinema, bro. This is fucking Scorsese, bro. Like, this is Taxi Driver. Like, this is on another level, but for video games, man. Like, you don't see this type of artistry from video games typically. It's more reserved for film.
Listening to your stream with my AirPods, couldn't miss out on this. This is Game of the Year, no doubt.
No doubt, bro. 2024 Game of the fucking century, dude. Not even the year. This is game of the decade. Game of the decade. How do they not have a category for game of the decade? I really don't know. That really, they should have these guys on YouTube that do the retrospectives, really like break shit down and be like, what do you think were the most influential games of the past 10 years? Like, what really stands out when you look at gaming in that far of a stretch? I could tell you what has stood out since 2007 and has never been matched since, and that's S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Easily. There's no, I mean, like, when you talk about milestones for AI, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. always comes up. Fear always comes up. Those are like the two major FPS games that were like, we're gonna do some shit that's interesting when it comes to AI. And we haven't really seen anything that really pushed it like that since. And it's been years, bro. When did Fear come out? Fear came out like what? Like a year or two after S.T.A.L.K.E.R? It's been so long I can't even remember. Might have even been earlier. Was it 2006? I need this game. I need this game, dude. I need it now. I'm actually going crazy without it. It was like before, it's like, oh, where's the media? And then they give us the media and it's like, I need to play it right now. Like, the more I see it and the more, and I can't click that play button. And, oh man, this is driving me nuts.
And probably regret something. We're heading towards the end of the video, and there is one thing that I still want to talk about, and that's modding. You guys told me that Unreal Engine is a little bit difficult to mod. I have no idea about that. I have never made a mod for Unreal Engine, but I have forward.
Let me tell you something right now. Mark my words. Clip it and ship it, boys. Let me tell you something right now. The first mod that S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is probably gonna have, maybe, and then people are gonna like do an INI configuration tweak. That doesn't count. I'm talking about a real mod. It's gonna be Thomas the Tank Engine, baby. If they don't turn Richter into Thomas the Tank Engine by day 2, I'll be a little disappointed in this community. Just a little bit. Not too much. Maybe it takes until day 3. Just fucking around with you. I'm just pulling your chain. But dude, am I wrong? It's gonna be Thomas the Tank Engine. Quadruple points if you put my face, because it's Tommy and my name is Thomas. If you put Tommy the Thomas on the train, bro. Peak absolute cinema. You have my blessing. You have my blessing to whoever out there, whoever it is. Go ahead, boys. I will review the shit out of that mod for you. You'll get nothing but praise here.
Your concerns to GSC Game World, and they told me that they will release modding tools as soon as possible after release of.
Triple points if you somehow make Kruglov ride the top of the train. Triple, quadruple points if Kruglov is on the train as well.
The game. So yes, they want mods. They will enable you to make mods, and
CJ is the second. Yeah, you gotta bring make Scar CJ.
All of you who are eager to do that, congratulations. You will have the tools for that. So what is my experience of playing S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2? I played around 2 hours of the game, and the footage that I showed you is footage from the game. This is not pre-rendered. This is how it looks like, and overall, I'm quite positive. The game looks amazing, the world is amazing, the atmosphere just breath.
Moist, I will say this, and take this with a grain of salt, but on the website, one of like the major bullet points that they have kept consistent with their marketing, which you don't see too many things that stay that consistent, one of their major bullet points has always been modding support. And it comes up. I'm pretty sure there was one of the 2 or 3 interviews that we were sharing around in the Discord. Like, it was either earlier this month or the end of last month, but there were a couple interviews, like the one with Slava, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about modding support, and they're like, yeah, we're still working. That's gonna be a thing for the game. So man, no worries, bro. Like, modding support's gonna be there. Like, I don't know exactly what extent that may or may not be for launch, but I'll say this: it'll be there one way or another. I mean, they recognize that clearly. If it's not ready on launch, like, okay, cool. Like, they're probably trying to make sure that the tools are all super refined. And let's be real, like, they're still going to be wanting to polish the game, right? So maybe they're like, well, we don't want to give you tools if we haven't like finished the polishing that we plan post-release. Like, I don't know. I'm just speculating. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be there, bro. No worries. No worries.
It really catches you, and you want to play more. It was very difficult for GSC Game World to get me away from the computer, because I would have probably stayed the entire night and played. It's great. Yeah. It is great fun. Still,
break the course! Do the forming!
But I would change. For example, I hope that you can customize the user interface and the HUD. Also, I would love to have the option to decide myself whether I want to lean to a corner or not. The game does it right now.
It took me years to see this in gameplay. Oh, I love the way it sucked him in. Let's go, dude. That looked great. That looked awesome. That's just like they showed us in that old trailer. Let's fucking go, man. I love the death counter. I truly thought the death... Let me just say this. If GSE, if you end up watching this video, keep that. Don't ever get rid of that. Do not ever get rid of the death counter. Shame the player. That's hilarious. I love every single piece of that. Nobody can say they did an Iron Man run if this isn't a 0. I'm telling you, that's awesome. Don't ever change the kill count. Please. That's like one of these little things that I've already grown attached to where I'm like, ooh, it's like, that gives the game some character. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of any other games that track it and show it to you every single time you die. That's awesome.
I encountered just one visual bug.
I need to see that one more time. Oh, that looks so good. Dude, this clip's got layers. What I love is you notice when it started to, well, the bubble was inflating, but it was really pulling the gravity in. How he pulled up against the rock and the rock stopped him from like getting pulled around the side closer to the anomaly until he's basically not obstructed anymore. I love that. I love that. I love the layers. I love the layers to these anomalies. I love all the different approaches that this is going to take. There's so much depth to this compared to the trilogy. I'm having a hard time really wrapping my brain around that. It's crazy because the original trilogy was so good for so many years. It's still a masterpiece of games. It's still, like Maxime was saying, we're standing on the backs of legends. You guys have cooked. You guys have redefined what the definitive Stalker experience is. What the hell, man? Like, that was not an easy thing to do, but you guys did it. Like, look at the way this has deformed. That looks awesome. I'm sure it took a lot of work to keep that in and keep it looking that good. That had, I mean, obviously that was in like the original trailer. The original trailer.
Minor flaws that I would change. For example, I hope that you can customize
all the warbling inside the bubble. That is cool. I wonder if that's what's like the core of the anomaly driving it or not. Oh my god, look at the detail on this rock, bro.
I have got to see what happens when someone walks into it.
Bro, this looks kind of like a moss, you know, kind of like a plant material on the rock, which you would see in more of a waterous area such as this. I can't. This isn't like 4K footage even. Like, it's really soft YouTube compressed footage, and I can still pick up on all these crazy details.
As the user interface, and
see, you can see it. And the sound effect, it sounds pissed off. It sounds almost like a poltergeist, not like a poltergeist, but like how a poltergeist is not. It's a mutant. Like, but this looks like it's an anomaly, but it almost has like a. It's like an entity. Like, it actually has its own. Well, it's an entity. That's crazy. It's like making these crazy fucked up noise. Like
the HUD. Also, I would love to have the HUD, customize the user interface, and the HUD.
Ooh, yeah, it feels alive. That's an awesome sound. That makes me. That's some. Ooh, that's what's the best way I can put that? Lovecraftian. That's some Lovecraftian level horror, and it's really hard to get that without leaning into fantasy. But this is Stalker, and anything goes, man. Like, it makes its own rules.
HUD. Also, I would love to have the option to decide myself.
Holy shit! It not only does it deform, but it contracts back out.
Customize the user interface and the HUD. Also, I would love to have the option to decide myself whether I want
that
to
looks so
lean to
good!
a corner or not. The game does it right now automatically. Just a minor flaw.
That's fucking
in
scary.
My playthrough, I encountered just one visual bug. For a pre-release game that I played for 2 hours, that's quite good, because I remember playing Metro Exodus on EGX in Berlin, asking them if the build is stable, and they told me yes. And after 5 minutes, I fell through the map because I managed to mess up. So for some reason, I seem to attract bugs. Overall, it's good. And I'm really curious to see
It's
what
good.
the game will look like, especially with the new factions, especially with the new mechanics, especially with the new zone. If you guys watch the videos from S.T.A.L.K.E.R, you probably have seen like 1 or 2 minor spoilers. They were in the deep dive. You just had to be very cautious.
We do be dancing around some stuff.
But now come the big spoilers. I want to know what you guys want to see in the game. What have you seen that you like? What is something that you would change? And also, what's your overall impression of the game after you have watched this video? Are you still hyped for it?
Super
Or are you a
positive.
bit more
If you
cautious
haven't
now?
guessed.
Let me know in the comments below. So I guess that's the part of the video where I would ask you to leave a like, leave a comment, and to join the Stalker squad by following my YouTube channel. And also checking out my other socials because I have some amazing Stalker photos on there. And I'll see you in the next video.
Excellent video. Excellent video. Give it up for S.T.A.L.K.E.R, guys. If you haven't, make sure you go pull this video. Give it a like. If you're not subscribed, you gotta subscribe to our boy, dude. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is a legend. He's a pillar of the community, man. Awesome content as always, bro. You're killing it, dude. Great video. I'm so happy you got to play the game, dude. You deserve that, man. That is awesome. I am so jealous, but they couldn't have picked a greater guy to come play, dude. That's cool, man. Fuck yeah. That is hell yeah, dude. Oh, I thought I was having a hard time with withdrawals after playing the prologue. Bro, S.T.A.L.K.E.R just played 2 to 3 hours of the game. How does he even go to sleep? I don't even know how I would go to sleep. It's like a kid waking up on Christmas, getting their gifts, and then being like, all right, that was great. We're going to put them all back in the box now, and you have to wait another month to play with them. All right, let's go. Next video. IGN, baby. The final preview. They just call it the last one. This is it. Final preview. Holy shit. I am still having a hard time wrapping my head around being this close. Wow. This feels newer. Even his wool cap has got some of the, we'll call it the fuzzy technology, fuzzy tech. If that, I don't know what they call it in GSC, but it's now called fuzzy tech. But you can see some of the little fuzzies on his wool cap. Bro, the material details are off the charts. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Fuzzy tech. Fuzzy tech, bro.
Help me find the culprit.
2 hours isn't enough time to see all
Okay,
the
now that's old.
stories and
That's old. Why would you put that old footage in there, bro? It's got like the infamous like stutters on that one spot just before the who the fuck are you? That oh my god, that was a heavy spot for optimization, I bet. Lint tech, lint technology.
all the secrets within the
You got
world of
Lumen and
STALKER
lint.
Who sent you? Richter?
Oh, this looks great. This is in 4K. Yeah, his face looks way sharper. Oh my god. I love this coat with the GP5 mask. I love this type of fingerless gloves. Oh, is it? Oh, all right, hold on. My bad. Yeah, it was doing the same thing as before. Okay. I got you. Hold on. I'll play from the top.
Then help me find the culprit.
2 hours isn't enough time to see all the branching stories, admire all the beautiful graphics, and discover all the secrets.
Wait a minute. Yeah, this is IGN. I just realized we're walking into a minefield. Hold on. Who did they get for this?
Don't want the innocent to suffer? Then help me find the culprit.
2 hours isn't
Oh my god, thank you. They got Destin. Thank you. Based. Thank you. This could have gone one of two ways, bro. Destin is so based. I hope they let him do the full review. I like him, dude. He's pretty on point, bro. He knows what he's talking about. I feel like he understands the game. He would be a great person to tell you what it is, bro. Let's go. That's what I am talking about. Thank you. WIGN, what is happening today, dude? Everything is coming into place. Magic. It's just magic is in the air.
to see all the branching stories, admire all the beautiful graphics.
Not to say anything bad about Chris. I just am not as familiar with Chris. But I know Destin. So we're good.
And discover all the secrets within the world of Stalker 2.
Who sent you? Richter?
But it is enough to be left impressed. When I wasn't taking stock on my paltry ammunition levels and hunger gauge, I was looking out at beautiful fields of red poppy flowers. when I wasn't getting distracted by an interesting side quest. I was doing fields of red pop. Beautiful fields of red.
I love how hazy it is. I love how subtle it is, but it gives it the dream-like quality.
Poppy flowers. When I wasn't getting distracted by.
Wow, yeah, this looks good. Look how full these shelves are, bro. These look like cans of Moloko milk, baby. See, I know a word or two. All right, but yeah, look, that looks like some Moloko, maybe, or that's. I probably am saying that with like the most American accent ever and making you cringe, and I apologize. I am sorry. I feel like I'm reliving the I don't even want to say the Uzo. Not my pronunciation falters sometimes. I apologize. I need to practice, but. Yeah, Moloko. There you Moloko. Okay, sounds a little bit better. But yeah, you got the non-stops. You got to have the non-stops, bro. Let's go. Awesome. Oh, it's condensed milk. Skuzchenka. Skuzchenka. Am I saying that correctly? Skuzchenka. Please hope I'm not butchering that. Oh, Da Vinci is going to have a field day with me trying to pronounce all these different words. Oh no.
An interesting side quest. I was doing my best to lure mutants into an.
Wow, I love how you can't even tell. Like, you can see, depending on the background, exactly where the edge of it is. But look at the way it just subtly warps reality around it, especially with the trees in the sky. That looks incredible. You could. Why does this look like a dick? I'm sorry. It's a big monitor, so it kind of stood out to me. Maybe it looked that way. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm immature. But dude, this bubble looks crazy. Like, this is so much better looking than anything I've seen before. You can't unsee it now. I knew I was right. Stalker dick. That's the heart of the Chernobyl. Oh man, the way the flesh looks like tiny, but then it starts to warp and get bigger. It's like you can't even tell exactly where it is on the other side of the bubble. That's so cool, man. What the fuck? How did they make this game so good? That's crazy. Like,
side quest.
Oh, wow.
I was doing my best.
Every single person that worked on this game understood the assignment, bro. Oh, the sacrifice that went into this. There's so many of you guys that probably got no sleep working on this. You probably are so tired. Oh my God. You have to be so exhausted working on something this good. Dude, imagine the feeling on launch when they can all just watch everybody get the game and have reactions to it. Like, yes, we worked towards this day. They're going to be enjoying this just as much, if not more than us. That's crazy. That has got to be the greatest sense of pride to work on something like this. Wow. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. It doesn't matter what your position is. QA testing, everything. You don't have to be a programmer. Every single person comes together to make this game cook. And it'll show when even one piece of it is offbeat. The cohesion of everything coming together is so fucking high fidelity. It's nuts. The audio, the visuals, the gameplay, the nuance. Bro, there's really gonna be a trailer tomorrow. Are you serious? Man, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
To lure mutants into an anomaly trap.
That looks so cool.
And while it was over,
oh, that's so cool. And you can see that it's kind of like trying to decide. It's like Ring Around the Rosie. It's trying to decide how to get Skiff. Oh man, real A-life hours, baby.
When it felt like it was getting extra good, it had still left its impression. The impression that the team at GSC Game.
Hold on.
Just when it felt like it was getting extra good, it had still left its impression.
Dude, this is it. This is the only bug I've been able to find. Oh, all right, hold on. I gotta, hold on. Hang on. I've got to disable the chat. I want you to look at this house right here because you're about to see it pop in.
It had still left its impression.
That's it. That's it. That's it. No problem, dude. Is that it? Is that all I can find when I'm like squinting and searching through this footage? That's so impressive. That LOD switch, that's it? Holy shit.
The downgraders were right. It's so fucking over.
Like what? And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to like post-launch polish. I'm sure that those are the types of little things that they'll be working on. But like, oh, this is why I highly recommend to my PC brethren, if you can, go to MSI's website and put it in your shopping cart, the MSI 4070 Ti Super Stalker 2 Edition, baby. Highly recommend so that you too can enjoy these ridiculously good visuals.
The impression that the team at GSC Games...
And I don't get paid for that ad placement. I just mean it, and I believe it. I bought one myself, and I have a 4080. I'm stupid. I love Stalker that much. I gotta have it all, dude.
World has created something special with Stalker 2. I will preface all this by admitting that I am not a Stalker expert, meaning I have not played the 2009 hits, but I probably...
What?
Should be, because I am a huge fan of games that offer us various options for dealing with a story scenario, especially those where one seemingly small decision can have effects that ripple through the rest of your playthrough.
The ribs at night!
That's what this series, which began with 2007's
I like the way you
Shadow of
slipped that
Chernobyl,
in, real sneaky breaky. Dude, the ribs at night look good.
through the rest.
And dude, his eyes, like when he asks you, he's like, did Richter send you? Like he kind of looks like he's not exactly thrilled to see you, but it animates really well on his face as well as with the voice acting. Dude, the voice acting sounds awesome. This shadowing on the glass in the background, this is that software Lumen type thing. It's stable, which is incredible. But I guarantee you, whenever they do the hardware RT update, you're gonna see like this scene look even better, and you're gonna be like, how did that happen? It's like you couldn't even imagine this looking any better than it does. This is one of the only spots where I'm like, that's gonna clean up really nicely and crush my video card. And I can't wait. Be just like old times.
To your playthrough.
Oh wow. And did you notice when Skiff is looking up that all of the pieces of the ribs, it's like black, it's like super pitch dark. His eyes are adjusting to the moonlit sky. And then when he looks down, things go from being darker to adjusting. His eyes open up and you can get more light to let in. I just love those details so much. And they look good in every scenario, whether it's at nighttime or in that green moody weather or in the middle of a bright sunny day and you walk outside the boiler. Fucking A, dude. This is going to be so satisfying to play. So satisfying to play. Oh, man. It's like, I can't even... That prologue I played was so good, dude. I was having so much fun playing the prologue. I can't even imagine how much more fun it's going to be to play the full game.
That's what this series, which began with 2007's Shadow of Chernobyl and was built on in Call of Pripyat in 2009.
I've never felt this excited before, except E3 2021 when I was literally jumping out of my chair. I feel so close to that now, but it's almost like just like bewilderment, shock. It's like, it's so good that I'm like, I'm not dreaming. This is real.
Is best known for, and it's what struck me the most from my handful of hours with Stalker 2. I kept thinking about those decisions I had made and wondering if I had made a mistake by choosing a violent...
Why do I feel like that scene is gonna be like in They Live when Rodney Piper's like, put on the glasses, and they're just beating the shit out of each other for like 10 minutes? Like, I love that, dude. I'm telling you, I would love that. I want that scene to be that way with him.
Guns blazing approach, and wondering if I should have tried a stealthy or even fully peaceful one. But Stalker 2 takes it several steps further. There are
Such
times you'll
singing.
have NPCs abruptly end a quest without rewarding you because you've looted the body of their dead friend, for example.
Awesome! Awesome! That's awesome. Yeah, they're like that is wow, that's a big small detail. In the original trilogy, it was a free-for-all with loot. There would be a huge firefight, and you would run up, and you could have been just sitting on the hill with binoculars. Rest in peace, binoculars. You could have just been sitting on the hill with binoculars, and then afterwards been like, time to loot, time to get some free shit. And you could loot anybody, and nobody would get upset. It was cool how other NPCs would loot the bodies, and then when you would go to loot that body, the items were missing from their inventory. I loved that. That sense of the items had persistence was really good. This is that system turned up to the next level. I love that. Yeah, if you loot this guy's friend, he's going to be like, what the fuck? And he's probably going to start shooting at you, or depending on what type of character he is. That is awesome. Now the whole free lunch with loot just took on a lot more nuance. And let me put this into perspective. Let's say there's two stalkers running around, and one has some really good loot that you want, and he goes down, and you're like, well, I can't loot him because his buddy's here. So maybe you run over here and piss off some mutants, you know, maybe just a pack of idle boars or fleshes, and then you run back over to that guy who's probably looting his friend, and then they both get killed. And then you wait until you hang up on the hill, you just, you know, you crouch behind something, and you just kind of keep an eye on things while the mutants go back and start, you know, traveling and such, and then you go and you pick both of their bodies. That's dynamic gameplay. That is the Stalker experience. That is what you can expect from this game. That is incredible. Holy shit. The more details I hear about, there's so much. Oh my God. They probably wanted to talk about this for so long.
Sorry, Strider.
Have that happen a couple of times.
Yeah, it looks that way.
And it'll give you pause even when you're doing the kind of routine task that you normally wouldn't even think about.
Suddenly, the voice of Monolith was gone.
I don't know, brother. I hear
I
it.
felt as if I was awake.
I hear it loud and clear.
Coma.
Our demo began with that Enter the Zone trailer cinematic before we were unleashed into a small field area covered by the darkness of night where we were hunting for anomalies.
I can't even begin to tell you how much more amazing this anomaly looks in... Oh, that red sky's sick. But this looks so good in the gameplay. Like when I played the demo, I was walking up as close to this as I could, and there's like these little rocks that were rolling down the hill and vibrating, and like they accumulate with each other in like these glowing lights. I was like, this is awesome. This is so fucking cool. Like there's so many more details that they put into. It's not even just like, ooh, weird bubble go weird, blah, 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 blah. And like, no, it's like there's so many more layers to these things. I don't even know what I'm saying.
These are dangerous areas that have been disturbed in the irradiated area and can reveal powerful artifacts with special attributes on them. And on the graphics front,
yeah, this
for
is
both
come to me
PC
footage.
and Xbox,
Come
these
on.
areas look stunning
Come
on
on,
both
give me new footage.
platforms.
Скіфе,
No!
радий тебе
Give me
бачити,
more new
друже.
footage!
This introductory sequence introduces us to Skiff. While we still don't know much about Skiff,
There it
we
is.
did learn that he seems to be well versed with the new technology of Stalker 2, such as the
Oh,
Gunplay
man.
1 detector that you can flip open and use to search for art.
That flashing of the blue light while the rest of the detector is in shadow. Fucking cinema.
Artifacts as it beeps louder and louder when
I love the
approaching
Gilka.
correct area.
Gilka is such an iconic detector too. It just looks so beautiful. It's such a cool design, man. Huge props to whoever came up with that. I mean, huge props to everybody, but you know, as I see these things, I just have to give that personal credit.
Stalker 2 artifacts are basically small objects that give you benefits like a faster stamina recharge. While
I love
attempting
that
to plant
clicking.
and charge a separate larger Topaz scanner at 3 such anomaly locations, I'll yada 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 over some spoilers here, because after a dramatic moment we wind up in the open world section of Stalker 2 where our journey really begins.
Yes.
With a main quest that we
Yes.
quickly
That's
find
what I need.
sending us
I
on
need
a
to
search
experience
for an
that now.
individual named Squint. But before tackling that Squint quest line, I was surprised by just how much could happen in the open world. One example.
Squint. I'll tell you who's squinting. All the doubters. They're like, damn. Fuck. They're so upset because they can't deny how good it looks.
Was an encounter with some unsavory folks trying to attack a character bunkered.
Ooh, I gotta replay that. That is basically a repeat for Bolts and Bullets. Let me see how this looks.
Encounter with some unsavory.
Yeah, that explosion looks better, man. Everything in this environment here looks better.
Folks trying to attack the open world. One example was an encounter with some unsavory folks trying to attack a character bunkered down in their home.
Let me see that one more time, because I think it blew out all the glass on this vehicle. I can't tell if it was already broken, though. I want to replay
in the open world. One example was an encounter with some unsavory folks trying to attack a character bunkered down in their home. All of our footage was provided, so I'll do my best to replicate that.
That was the only thing that looked maybe a little bit odd. Just the way that one guy rotated, he kind of looked like he was floating a little bit. Hold on.
Bunkered down in their home. All of our footage.
Yeah, he kind of like walks, stops, and then he does kind of like the little pan. A little bit odd, but it's okay.
Was provided, so I'll do my best to replicate.
I love when you're bursting with the Viper and you see the plumes of blood, and you don't need hit markers. Like, I hate games that use hit markers. Like, I like when you don't even know if you killed the enemy, because when things get really quiet, you don't even know. Maybe they're trying to flank you, or maybe they're just lying dead behind their cover. Like, you don't know. That is a layer of complexity that I really appreciate in combat. But man, that looks really good when that dude's getting lit up, man.
That with what we were given. Anyway, once I took them out,
the blood decals, they hit the vehicle behind him too. You see these plumes of smoke and blood, and then you see these two splotches of blood on the vehicle. That's cool, man.
Anyway, once I took
right here, that looks good. I'm not like a big Call of Duty hater. I mean, you know, when I was younger, I was like, oh, Call of Duty. Like, you know, I used to like the campaigns a lot. I think I jumped off the ship sometime around, God, what was it? It was like Black Ops 1. I'm a boomer, bro. Like, but yeah, I used to enjoy Call of Duty a lot, but in recent years, no, of course not. It doesn't really feel inspired. I'm sorry, but you can't make a game come out annually or like every year or every other year and expect to get like, you know, a lot of detail. It's a shame. Yeah, it's got hit markers. Battlefield's got hit markers. Hit markers are a fairly common thing. And I guess I understand it for multiplayer competitive, but I don't like when I see it in single player games. So it's really nice when you have gameplay that is not catering to, oh, did you notice that you hit? Oh, did you see the hit markers? I just wanted you to know that you hit that guy. Huh? Just wanted you to know he's dead. Like, I love games that don't hold your hand through the whole thing. I like when a game respects the intelligence of the player to master the game for themselves. That is another reason that I love that Stalker does not use skill points. It does not use skill trees. Fuck all of that. It has no place in this game because it's benign, because you could be a complete trash player and, oh, if the fucking points in the inventory say I got better at these things, then I'm better at them. I hate that. It's up to the player to master the game to get better at it, rather than just like it. You know, those are the elements of RPG that like they don't really belong here as much. Not to say I don't like skill trees. They're good in games. I enjoyed it in Cyberpunk 2077 a lot. But for a game like Stalker, where the role play of being a stalker is paramount, yeah, bro, I don't need a fucking skill tree that's like, oh, if you put your skill point here, your bullets will tear through enemies and hit the other enemies behind. It doesn't fit here. It's very out of place. I just am so happy that, you know, obviously everything they've done is perfect, but it's the things they don't do that I also appreciate. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
Took them out by sneaking around behind them and making quick work of them with a sidearm shot.
TJ, bro, I think you're right. I noticed with when Skiff was in the one clip when he walks into the helicopter, there's that crate on the ground that had like 3 little itty-bitty swaths of yellow paint on it. But the whole thing wasn't like painted. It was just enough to like draw your eye to, hey, there's something over here in the darkness so you don't miss it. But it was so much more tasteful. Absolute cinema. It was so much more tasteful. If the ladders and everything follow suit, we're so back. We are so back.
To the noggin, I was introduced to a new NPC character. And on the animation for a second, no matter who you meet in Stalker 2,
looked really good.
The character
I like the way that he snapped into that spring.
And the somber mood is on full display as you sit around campfires on a brief break. This particular new character, however, sent me on a quest to check on his friend and
I love that you can see the lamp or the light from the flashlight or the headlamp of this guy walking next to him. That's awesome, man. You basically can't see this guy at all. It won't be, you know, out of the question to get ambushed at night by other bandits or factions, no doubt. I love how tactical this is going to play.
A chain of other small quests unlocked because I cannot
get over how good the lighting and the shading is. And when you have these really strong contrast with like a bright light source like this, with like the darker areas, like look at this house, it's completely darkened, but you've got just this moody lighting over here. I love it. I love it. Oh, and this comes out November 20th, bro. I'm gonna have so much eggnog. I mean, I love eggnog, bro. Around the holidays, I'm just gonna be sitting at the campfire with like some eggnog, bro. I'm gonna be like, life is good, life is good. Oh, it's good to be a stalker.
To help this one individual who I could have simply walked past had I been mainlining the story missions. I found it interesting because it was an early example of how one small side
quest wait to see the
could
PDA
begin
again.
branching out into a larger and more involved story beat that I could have easily missed.
Show me more.
Not only are there human enemies to worry about, which usually have your standard arsenal, but there are also larger, more unpredictable flesh mutants and bloodsuckers who are extra deadly and can make short work of you if you're not careful.
Yep. Man, oh man. Do I miss fighting this guy? I had so much fun.
Poppy flowers to navigate.
So much fun fighting that bloodsucker, man.
But we'll put you to sleep forever if you want to
this meta. Bro, I'm sorry. I know that, you know, the Scar trailer came out right after I had done another reaction, and I caved. I watched it without a live reaction. Can I just say, to make up for some lost time, that this meadow, oh my god, this meadow is the best meadow I've ever seen in a game. But the level of foliage, density, and diversity, bro, everybody knows with modded trilogy, if you try to replicate this, welcome to hell. Like, welcome to 8 frames per second. I don't care what CPU you have. I don't care what GPU you have. X-Ray decides what the rules of reality are, and it decides 8 FPS. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, and even if you could get the fluidity, you would never get visuals that are even remotely this good. Somebody spent a lot of time on these flowers and everything and making it look so good. Even this butterfly that's flying here, holy shit. I feel like when I look at this, it reminds me of how I felt when I saw the guide in the 1979 film Stalker, when he goes into the zone and then he lays in the grass and he just takes a moment to kind of take it all in. I love that scene so much. There's so many layers to that scene, like how the bugs kind of crawl across his face and he doesn't care. He doesn't even physically react to it. And that's not like something that went in the script. That was just the actor taking that role seriously. And it's just so good. It's just cinema. It's so beautiful. And the way that this game reminds me of that. It's like when people are like, oh, you know, the Stalker film has nothing to do with the game. You got to understand, like, Stalker is a universe that different artists have done their interpretation of. And to me, like I started with the games and then I watched the film. The film means so much to me. The film is a masterpiece. I love Tarkovsky. Like, Tarkovsky's work is fucking terrific. Cinematography, legend. But it's like seeing that level of like cinematography from a video game. And here's the thing. It's not a camera like a film. The player could approach this from any number of directions. But just looking at this, tell me it's not picturesque. I could frame this and put it on my wall and it wouldn't even stand out as an odd piece of art. It would fit right in. That's how good this looks. I would love an oil painting version of this. That's how good this looks.
Just sleep forever if you wander too far off the main pathways.
You can't rest now, we're nearly there.
Not only does this keep combat and the wastelands of the exclusion zone interesting, but it also offers moments
when we go back and look at this footage, look how different this looks. Like, we were geeked out when we saw this. I'm still loving this. But what a difference.
Interesting, but it also offers moments of awe as you look out at the beautiful red sea of poppy flowers, knowing you'll need to go in there and carefully navigate it to complete your objective. All that said, when I did finally find Squint, I was given 2 options. Confront him with violence and head back to base, or help him survive and be sent on a completely different story branch with him. At first, I took...
Scorsese needs to play this game, bro. I know he's not a gamer. He's a film artist, but this is a masterpiece. And I feel like even somebody like him could really appreciate what is on display here. I can't wait to replay this because I want to see what all the different variations are going to be to the outcomes of the quest, like with Squint. It's going to be awesome.
The violent approach, but when I realized it felt a bit anticlimactic to end the journey with a gunfight, so I loaded up a save just before the encounter and went the other way.
Pong.
I couldn't help but remember the hundreds of hours I played Fallout 3,
Can hear the boomers already.
Fallout New Vegas.
Bro,
some of my
dude, you got to understand. The level of detail on these pierogies is worth the cost of admission to play this game. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to look at this freaking plate of food. I want you to look at this sausage and these pickles. Look at this pickle. It's already half eaten. It's that fucking good. Look at this fucking lighting on the pierogies. We're so back. So back.
Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, some of my favorite games ever, and experienced that same lingering doubt as to whether or not I made the right decision in a given situation. Stalker 2 had just evoked that same emotion in a 2-hour game session. It may not be special, and a lot of games have used this before, but I hadn't realized how much I missed this level of nuance. While games like Cyberpunk offered interesting beats to explore, a lot of the stories wound up at the same place.
Yes!
I'm left hopeful that the branching paths can result in some wildly different results in Stalker 2's case. This brief session with Stalker...
I want you to appreciate that everything that this gentleman just said, okay, also came from the same gentleman who said he had never played the trilogy games before. We're so back. We're so back. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for newcomers to experience this and be like, whoa, I need to go back and play the original games and get all the extra context for this. Like, there's going to be so many more hardcore fans that are going to be born from this. And I love that. And I love that. Hardcore, truly.
2, which seemed to start us at the very beginning of the game, reminded me just how great a branching style of storytelling can be from a gameplay perspective, specifically when it's interwoven as it has been here with Stalker 2. I can't wait to see what else is in store for the full experience, and I'm able to discover just how far things can unravel. Beyond the branches of storytelling you can...
Can I just say again, they're charging $60 for this game, right? They're not even asking $70 like everybody else does. Isn't that funny? When they tell you shit like quadruple A experience, and they're like, yeah, you gotta pay $70, baby. Hey, you know, it costs a lot of money to make games these days. Yeah. Hey, what can I say? You know, it just ain't like the old days, you know. Hey, you who doesn't cost a nickel anymore, I'm sorry. You gotta pay $70. You gotta pay to play. $60 bones. And you get the game of the fucking century? I don't even have to say anything. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. It's disgusting when you've got these games coming out and they've got massive charts for digital bonuses, bro. Like, massive charts. Like, I know there's a few pre-order digital goodies for Stalker. Listen, the community's gone through that a million times. But those games don't back it up with a polished, beautiful, perfect product. It's like buying accessories for a hoopty when it comes to these other games. Whereas with Stalker, I would buy everything. When the multiplayer comes out, if they charge for digital skins, I'll buy all of them. I'll buy everything. Because they do everything right. I'm so excited for the multiplayer. People do not talk about the multiplayer enough. I'm so excited for that. I don't even care if it's classic team deathmatch and all those other modes. We are going to have so much fun with that. Shout out Shurik, winner of the Stalker tournament. Shout out Yerk, number 2, fucking beast. Gonna come back for the title, I know it. But yeah, I can't wait to do tournaments, man. Like, the multiplayer is going to be awesome. And I love that they don't rush it. It's not like, oh, it has to be there on the day one. No, bro, just let that cook. Give that time. Work on the campaign, work on the story, work on the base game. It's like all the things that you would just think are like a completely normal decision, right? It's like, okay, the game needs this. We got to do what we got to do. Like, so many companies, they cut such massive corners that, like, dude, like, leadership is asleep at the wheel so many times. How do they not? This is so beautiful. Stalker is like this beautiful example now for the rest of the industry on how to behave. You will always be compared to this now. Western Studios on Suicide Watch, you ain't getting away with murder anymore, because now you're going to be getting compared to masterpieces like this. Good luck. Good luck. It's time to start paying attention again, and it's time to put gameplay back first and foremost. You don't want me to go on a rant. It's time to put the design back where it needs to be. Am I right, boys? Y'all know.
Explore in the pretty graphics. I also found it really refreshing to be challenged with managing resources like ammunition and food to ensure survival. If you don't eat enough, you'll fatigue easier, and that means worse aim or less stamina, which you can use to navigate a conflict by, say, running away if you want to.
If anybody watching this happens to be a cosplayer and knows how to make custom costumes, please message me, because I actually want to make a custom sunrise suit for my dog. It's got to be easier, right? It's got to be a lot smaller than for a person, but I really want to make him one, and I would pay for it, because that would just be so fucking cute.
One out of bullets, your knife probably won't cut it in many situations, but you can try to instead use the environment to your advantage by luring your opponents into an anomaly.
Oh, I love that. I love the AK reload, the sounds, everything.
This kind of resource management lends nicely to the overall feeling this oppressive world is trying to convey, and it reminds me that every fight should be considered a calculated risk. Do I unload with my AK ammo that I'm very short on, or do I try and use a bit of stealth here? Can I get away with using a pistol, or do I need to get extra aggressive with the...
Or you can be a total cheap schizo stalker and you can F5 and F9 every time it takes you more than 3 bullets to kill one dude because you're low on ammo. True desperation. Playing Misery, anyone?
These bigger enemies. Do I tackle this during the night when I can use darkness to...
Artie, let me just say something, Gary. Artie loves when you put clothes on him. He loves to wear... My girlfriend and I call them his sweaties. He loves his little sweaters, bro. He loves that. He gets so hyped up. It's so fucking adorable. He's got this one that's like, it's a soft green sweater. And every time I pull it out, he'd be like wiggling. He gets all hyped. He's a good little boy. And I put it on him and he's all like, he gets excited, dude. He doesn't even mind. The only thing that he'll do is if he gets a little itchy, it's kind of cute because he'll start trying to rub up against stuff. But other than that, he'll still want to keep him on. It's adorable. I've even got a little hat that I've put on him. If you're in the Discord, I've posted the picture of Artie wearing his cute little hat.
To my advantage, or would I rather use the sunlight to my advantage for clearer sight? The fact that the designers at GSC Game World have struck a balance...
Whoa, dude. This gives me X16 vibes to the max. Look at these stakes that are going through him. What the fuck caused that? If there's a stake gun or a projectile weapon like that, like this body is obviously placed here. But if there is a weapon that you can use like this, that's going to be sick. That gives me Painkiller vibes, bro. Shout out to anybody in here that played Painkiller. Painkiller was a badass game, dude. And that stake gun, just be like, and you just nail enemies into the wall. Fucking love that. It was awesome. But the way that the dude is pinned to the wall, like, that's unsettling. And it looks awesome with, like, just the lighting and everything. It's sick, dude. This is sick. This looks sick. It could be rebar. You're right. Maybe that's some concrete rebar. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be something that you could use. But if it was, that would be pretty mind-blowing.
World have struck a balance with how...
Yo, if the Bureau could launch shit like that, would be fucking nuts.
Much they give you, at least early on, with the scenarios you're put in, makes it feel like it's in a great spot right now.
Oh, dude, HK416, my beloved. Can I say I had so much fun playing with this gun in the demo. Or not the demo, the prologue. It was awesome. Also, the way that this guy's arm is here, it's kind of... Why does it look like he's like... I'm sorry, but it looks just like that. It's like the dick in the bubble. I'm just seeing funny shit now everywhere I look.
Hopefully this sticks for the rest of Stalker 2 and you don't become overpowered by the end of the campaign, because this feeling of desperation is what it's all about.
I wonder what's out there. Eternal Spring? The Klondike of artifacts? A new hope.
That dialogue is so amazing. A Klondike of artifacts, bro. Klondike is a badass word.
I'm left with eagerness to get back into the world and see what other trouble Skiff gets into. Even though
It's a $10 word.
Though November 20th is right around the corner, Stalker 2 can't come soon enough.
Awesome.
In the meantime, check out the
preview, man.
Stalker 2 gameplay, and for more on all things gaming, keep it right here at IGN.
All right, let's go. Next up, Windows Central Gaming. Never heard of them, but all right, let's rock, boys. GameSpot is after this one.
From Windows Central with a quick look at Stalker 2, which I was lucky enough to play 3
Ooh,
hours
this looks
of an
good.
event in Prague.
Awesome. Like the way he just lights that dog up, dude.
Stalker 2 was
Actually, wait, he looted that box. Hold on.
Which hi guys. It's
Oh, you know what? No, it's not yellow paint. It's actually the lack of paint. That white kind of primered look behind the paint stands out. That's how you do good design. That looks awesome.
Jez here from Windows Central with a quick look at Stalker 2, which I was lucky enough to play 3 hours of at an event in Prague just recently.
Oh, you have no idea how lucky you were.
Stalker 2 was announced, cancelled, and then...
Wow.
Increase the clip's volume a bit, please.
Oh, yep, I gotta do that every time there's a new video. My bad. I love the way this looks, dude. The different color on the one door. Like, they gave the car backstory. Like, doesn't look like it came off the factory. Look at the rust on the handle. Like, this thing it looks like it has 150,000 miles or whatever the kilometers equivalent is. But this car looked like it's seen some shit. Even the grime on the glass, man, this world building is on another level, dude.
And then re-announced repeatedly since 2010. The successful cult hit franchise inspired generations of game developers, but a variety
you can see
of
the fuzzies. You can see the fuzzies so clear in 4K. Wow, the detail on this clothing is incredible. You can see every last stitching pattern. His beard. They even did a really good job so far of reducing the uncanniness in the eyes. I haven't mentioned that yet, but you know what? They've done a really good job with that. A really good job with that.
Circumstances made building the sequel an uphill battle. GSC Game World has since...
Half-Life 2 vibes? I kind of feel that, right? Like when you're on the airboat and you're going in between the stations. I don't know why that technician spot did kind of feel like that, didn't it? A little bit. I feel you, brother. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Partnered with Microsoft to get the game over its final stretch ahead of a planned launch date for November 20th, 2024 on Xbox Series X, S, Windows PC, and Xbox and PC Game Pass. Stalker 2 is best described as a hardcore immersive sim shooter, albeit with some infectious RPG elements on top. Food, status effects, equipment load, bartering, dialogue choice and consequence, and other RPG systems players will be familiar with take center stage. However, there is no XP grinding in this. All of your stats come from gear, which must be procured in the field, scavenged from enemies.
Not gonna lie, maybe this clip didn't look as smooth. I'm probably tripping. And like even Starion had said, like complete smooth throughout the whole experience. Sometimes I wonder with some of the press footage, it's not always like the most consistent thing, but maybe.
Or rewarded from quests. The approach to progression makes Stalker as immersive as it is challenging.
No, I think it was just a camera. Never mind.
Easier story mode for those who don't fancy getting too sweaty. Stalker 2 takes place.
And I love all the little details, even like, you know, the guy rolling his neck and everything. Like this the little, you know, bits of detail to make the characters feel alive, and that they're not just set dressing to just, you know, make the world look pretty. No, like these are dudes that are just like living and existing and making their way through an extremely harsh and unforgiving environment, and it comes with its own culture, and you're seeing that on display in a level of simulation and detail that has never even remotely been done before, even if you consider Stalker mods. Not even fucking close.
Place in the Zone, which is a real-life region surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear plant, famed for its
that little saving icon there is nice. So it seems like I'm not sure if that was like a quick save or like an auto save. I know the game has auto saves, but it's very non-obtrusive. It's a nice little HUD detail. I really appreciate a good-looking HUD.
Stalker 2 takes place in an alternative universe where a second mysterious meltdown triggered a catastrophic breach in the fabric of reality itself. Strange anomalies, inside-out mutants, and priceless radioactive artifacts litter the exclusion zone, attracting all sorts of mercenaries
the Boiler
and bandits
Factory
to its
is so
dangerous
cool.
environment.
I don't know why I'm so emotionally attached to the Boiler Factory, dude. I feel like I must have been the most excited person when Bolts and Bullets came out. I had such a good time with that trailer. Everybody's like, ah, they're like having a complete fucking meltdown, and I'm like, man, this is what are you talking about? This is great. I was still happy. I just love this environment. It's so cool. I want to check this building out. It just looks really badass, man.
In Stalker 2, you find yourself helping a scientist harvest anomalous energy into a portable extractor until you find the researchers dead and your comrade betrayed. Now
bro,
trapped
the boiler's
inside the
peak. Yeah, dude, this boiler factory is peak.
To figure out what
or
went
not
wrong
factory, but boiler. It's just a boiler. I call it a boiler factory because it looks like a factory type building.
Games I've ever played, and it will run at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series.
Ooh, that's some good poppy.
The most stunning open world games.
That is so cool. You can see Skiff's eyes closing at the top and the bottom of the screen. You can see the black coming in. One thing is, like, you know, like if you've ever passed out, you know, right before you pass out, that feeling when the darkness is closing in on the sides, where it feels like you're like a tunnel, like everything is winding into a tunnel in front of you, and then you're just lights out. They're simulating that, and they're doing a really good job. You can tell, like, Skiff's kind of like nodding off a little bit from the poppy field.
I've ever played, and it will run at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X and about 30 frames per second on Xbox Series S.
The way he carries the gun, I think he's even starting to sway it a little bit less consistent. Maybe I'm schizo, but I feel like I'm seeing that detail.
Yes, GSC Game World told me that they have almost optimized the game well enough to hit 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S.
Ooh. That did not look the same when I was looking at it on the other video. I am going to say that they got footage, and when they rendered their video, they did something weird, bro. Do people not know how to render an AV1? Bro, come on, guys. You got to use AV1 encoding, man. Look at the way, like, this tears when the camera turns. It didn't look like that in the other footage. Bro, come on, guys. You got to represent my Stalker better than that. Come on. Windows Central Gaming, come on, bro.
At 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S as well, but it'll take a little bit more time to arrive post-launch. Expansions are already planned for the game, despite its massive handcrafted base game.
I am so curious what these expansions are going to look like.
Free as well, while using as little procedural generated and copy and pasted assets as possible. The fact the world map is designed to be traversed on foot at all times forced the team to double down on handcrafted quests and points of interest with powerful weapons.
Bro, the ribs will never not look astonishing to me.
Dialogue conversations.
I like this little red dot here. I didn't see that on this detector in some of the other scenes. I wonder what that is.
In the Discord general chat, it seems they got our feedback on the paint nice and clear, lol.
It's perfect now. We did it, boys. Holy shit. It's perfect now. Oh my god.
Top of the game's factional race.
They pulled the Sonic trailer. They pulled the Sonic trailer where we were like, ah, and they were like, okay, all right, hold on.
Reputation system. If what I experienced in my time with the game was representative of the final product, Stalker 2 well and truly has all the makings of a Game of the Year contender.
Why does it feel like we did that a little bit?
Can stick the landing. Stalker 2.
To be fair, we weren't bullying, we were teasing. There's a difference. It's memes, baby. You gotta have memes. Memes are fun. Everybody enjoys the memes. The paint was funny. The paint was funny. I'm glad they changed it, but the paint was funny. It is what it is. Like, and I get it. You know, you gotta have the accessibility for players. Like, I say normies. I feel like that's almost like a negative connotation, but you know what I mean? Like the average Joe, you know what I mean? Like the non-hardcore. Like, I get it. Yeah, it could be a good accessibility tool. The only thing I'll die on, or the only hill that I'll die on, is just as long as it was toggleable. If they tweaked it and removed it altogether, awesome, cool, hell yeah. I'm not complaining. But I wouldn't be upset if it was still in the game. And you know what I'm saying? Like somebody thought that it needed to be in the game, and no doubt it was probably when playtesting, people were like, oh, I'm missing stuff, and it's like, oh, well, there you go. But for me, no paint, please. If I have a choice, for me, none.
Drops on November 20th, 2024, straight into Xbox and PC Game Pass, and check out a full interview and preview of the game at Windows Central using the link in the...
Ooh, what is it? It doesn't look like an egg cooking. What is in that pot? Chat, what is bro cooking? I wonder if as you're sitting at the campfire, like you can see them like actually drink from a full cup and watch the fluid go down. I wonder if you can see this guy finish making the meal and then eat it. That would, is it? Dude, this don't look like soup, bro. That don't look like soup, bro. It's not a liquid because it's not filling the entire bottom of the pan. This is a solid of some kind. It looks like bread. Maybe he's just like keeping the bread in the pan. Bread soup. Asking the real questions. Maybe it's bread soup. Has anybody here actually eaten bread soup? What the fuck is bread soup, guys?
But Windows Central using the link in the description. I've been Jez Corden. Thanks a ton for watching, guys.
This guy looks so badass sitting here. He's probably tired, but he looks kind of scary. He looks a little unhinged. Maybe it's the mask. I love this stash. This guy looks cool, man. He's got a really awesome looking face. Very unique. Oh, cool. There's more footage. Let's see. No, why did you cover it with these? Oh, that looked awesome when he took the match and he sparked it. That looks good. Oh, and then he throws it. Fuck. That looks so cool. Yo, that looks awesome. Man, and just hearing that old school guitar, dude. You can hear Korshinov's captain talking about Squint. That's cool. All right, let's see. GameSpot, baby, last one.
I died a lot playing Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl.
I'm hiding here.
I died a lot playing Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Like the 2008 original, developer GSC Game World's long-awaited sequel is a punishing affair because life is difficult and fleeting in the zone.
Here, come show them you're sweaty. Come show them you're sweaty. Come here. No, here, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Ready. Oh, he just wants to sit in front of me. You good boy, come here. Ready. Where are you going? Yay! Look at the sweaty. Oh, he's the best boy. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. What the dog doing? All right. Oh, you're sliding the chair, dude. Dude, he's so excited right now, dude. What's up, dude? He's so fucking hyped up. No, don't lean into the green screen. Come here. All right, you good boy. Okay, you gonna go lay down? You want to play? I promise we'll play after the stream. You are adorable. I love you so much. You're the best.
The irradiated area around Chernobyl filled with deadly, physics-defying anomalies, mutants, and various people who will kill you for just about any reason. If you fail to keep your wits about you, your time in the zone will end quickly, making exploring Stalker 2's open world.
Oh wow, you can even see the lightning in the distance.
I recently played a little more than 3 hours of Stalker 2 that covered the beginning of the game and its opening few missions.
Dude, he wants so much attention right now. He's all over me. Dude,
especially after trying to take down the same group of bandits 4 or 5 times, only to get overwhelmed and shot to death. But once I started to get the hang of keeping myself alive by moving cautiously and identifying threats at a distance, I found that Stalker 2 felt harrowing and invigorating in equal measure.
Ooh, that sounds
Stalker 2
creepy.
starts by immediately introducing you to the weirdnesses of the zone. After both the historical
Nice, I like the way he triggered it and just ran right through. That was smooth.
And a fictional one in 2006, the place has been filled with strange, almost supernatural goings-on. Whirlwinds will toss people into the air and then implode their bodies. There are spherical gravitational anomalies that look like near-invisible bubbles that suck you into them.
Man, I can't get over how good that looks.
Jets of flame or bursts of electricity erupt from the ground if you wander too close. Anomalies range from dangerous to deadly, but they can also be incredibly valuable. If you can make your way into the center of some
I will never get tired of this detail. In fact, I think TJ was the one who pointed this out in the Discord. But when you go up to a bag and you take items out of it, you'll actually notice the bag model will deflate. It will show less items in it. How freaking kick-ass is that?
Can also be
like, watch this. Yeah, you see the way the bag changed? Watch right there.
If you can make your way into the center of some anomalies, you can find an artifact, a strange object with unexplainable properties that you can equip.
Ooh, yeah, on the roof that time.
That's what stalkers, scavengers who make their livelihood in the zone, are after. After a betrayal during your trip into the zone, you wind up becoming a Stalker too, mostly out of necessity.
Okay, my brain just didn't listen to that correctly. I thought he was saying, like, he's saying Stalker 2, like, you are also a stalker, but it sounded like, it's like, I now become the Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Like, I thought he was saying the title of the game. Like, you are the Stalker 2. He said the line, dude. You become Stalker 2. Now I have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds. I have become Stalker 2.
Becoming a Stalker too, mostly out of necessity.
I gotta hear that one more time. It's so funny.
During your trip into the zone, you wind up becoming a Stalker too, mostly out of necessity, as you try to find.
He did that on purpose. That's a good pun. Ooh, that's fucking new. Oh, I like the location circles. I bet those correspond to any active quests that you have, or maybe like points of interest. Maybe if like you read a document or something like that, because this exclamation point is clearly like a main quest objective. Look how dense all this land is. There's so many like town, like buildings and structures, and it's not all just like open forest. There is so much to explore. This will, oh dude, we've been updating the map in the Discord, and now we've got like all this beautiful topography. This will all just overlay onto that map perfectly. Cool.
On you and get back a special artifact they stole. Much like,
whoa, dude. That's, hold on. They changed something that wasn't in the demo when I played, and it's a big detail. Let me verify first.
You try to find the person who turned on you and get back a special artifact
they fucking did it. Oh my god. So when I played the game, you could zoom in like you see here. The image, when you would zoom all the way in, it didn't get more detailed. Like the detail that it had on the overview, that was it. You would just zoom in and it kind of looked the same. This looks better. When you zoom in, there's way more tiny details that you can see. You would not see this from the most, zoomed out overview. But zooming in, you can see way more of these tiny like substructures. Like you can tell that right there is the house that Skiff shoots the bucket and then jumps across. You would not have been able to tell that before. This is that much more sharp and clear looking, bro. I love that. I love watching a game come together. It's so cool. Like, dude, I'm so jealous. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is so lucky. He's gotten to play Gamescom 23, Gamescom 2024, like all of the pre-release versions of the game. That is so cool. Every time seeing it get closer and closer to that final perfect vision. Amazing. I love seeing these details. I can actually see the game getting better right before my very eyes.
Stole. Much like in the original Stalker, you're hunting a single person down and interacting with others who live their life in the zone. That means heading to Stalker settlements to gather information.
You see his hair? This is how my head is probably going to look by the time Stalker 3 comes out. I always cut my hair, but bro, I'm going to be bald by the time Stalker 3 comes out.
Information and taking on jobs to trade for information.
Oh, there's the leg. Okay, yeah, I was wondering when the guy said that the guy's leg was missing. He's talking about this guy because he's missing the leg. I'm fucking blind. I didn't even notice before. There it is. Oh yeah, I'm in a real anomalous dugout. I'm noticing the finer details. I'm like pointing all these little things out, and I don't even notice that the guy's missing his entire half of his leg.
And taking on jobs to trade for information too. Stalker 2 throws you in at the deep end almost immediately.
Oh man, dude, Anomalous has got his work cut out for him, brother. The man, the myth, the legend, bro. He's probably sitting there and he's writing a script and he's like, they just keep cooking. They just keep giving me more. This video's gonna take forever. Dude, I've seen him send a picture of like a timeline when he's working on it, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh man, it's almost like when someone's like, here, look at 8 million lines of code. Like the man's is incredible with his process for putting a video together. It is packed. I thought my rendering timelines were ridiculous. Like I have like so many elements on there, both for the for the video and for the audio elements, that shit takes forever to render. Thank God you got a new machine, bro. Woo! I can't wait. Part 2 of the Anomalous Dugout Saga, when we get Stalker 2 lore videos, is going to be, absolute cinema. Oh, it's going to be so good.
After the tutorial,
I feel like pieces of this might be used for a trailer. If there's a trailer tomorrow, bro, you know how long I had to wait?
Just got home time to open some habanero cheddar summer sausage. Are you jealous, Tommy?
You know, I heard that message. I didn't even have to see the username to know that was you, Colin. Hell yeah, my boy. Hell yeah, I am jealous. You better share some of that cheddar jalapeno, you son of a bitch. But it definitely feels like we're going to get a new trailer tomorrow, man. I think the hardest thing is going to be waiting to get off work to watch it. Like this stuff. You know what? No worries. If they drop a trailer tomorrow, I'm just going to be watching these clips from the day before over and over. I'm good.
Where you're left for dead.
Until I get off work, then we do the live stream.
Another stalker rescues you and points you in the direction of a town where stalkers hang out. And along the way, you can pick up side missions and mix it up with random.
God, now I hope not. Actually, I have a massage schedule tomorrow. That would be. I'm getting my rubs, boys. Sorry. So it might take me a little bit longer, but I will do the live reaction if there's a trailer tomorrow. Mark my words.
Adversaries. One of those side missions involves finding a stalker trapped in a destroyed post office, engaged in a gun battle with some of the lawless bandits.
Dude, I want to check out a destroyed post office. What?
Who also inhabit the zone. Kill them and he'll offer you the job of heading up the street to the bandit's stronghold to help his pal. This one being...
Look how much dirt is in his face. You can see the pores and then you can see everything just caked in there. Like he's just been out here in the thick of it. And you can tell that this is like a more, you know, there's probably a lot more like loose dirt and shit around this building. So this is incredible detail. Holy cow. You want to see the failure of the postal service? Joke's on you. How am I going to play Stalker? I'm going to deliver the mail. I still want to know where the bread in the zone comes from. Where's that bakery at? Who makes the Sunrise suits? In fact, who makes the Monolith suits? We're asking the real questions. We're getting into the deep lore.
Hell, because of gambling debts.
I always like to think there's one Monolith guy at the CMPP, like Grandma. He's just knitting. He's making all the suits. Some guy goes out, he gets into heavy fights, he rips the suit, he brings it back, he's like, hey, I need you to fix this. He's like, he's got to fix it.
It's incurred by the guy in the post office. Here's where I died several times because fighting
that looked really good. You can see after Skiff gives this response that he goes from having more of like this mute, more introverted expression. He kind of smirks, really subtle. It's a Slavic smile, if you will, but it's a really small smirk where you can tell that he's gained the approval of Skiff.
Several times because fighting human enemies can be extremely tough.
I think one of my favorite memes from Stalker 2 so far, one of the funniest looking things, is the way that the character Shadow holds or shows the character holding the gun. I love that. I'm not even gonna lie. If they fix that, it'll be nicer looking, but part of me is like, this is kind of funny. It's always those little things that you know, they give charm. This just looks a little funny.
Extremely tough. Combat feels a lot like the original Stalker, where you're relying on weapons that aren't especially well maintained.
Whoa, that looked awesome. The way that he readied up the Viper, that was a really smooth transition.
Human enemies can be extremely tough. Combat feels a lot like the original Stalker, where you're relying on weapons that aren't especially well maintained or accurate.
Bro,
you can sneak up on the enemies.
The animators are going crazy.
From the post office, a few of whom are patrolling.
I love the blood splatter on the screen when you take light damage. You notice how you're not having all of the HUD elements shoved down your throat? It's so beautiful.
Conversations to get the drop on them, but actually shooting them can be tough. A headshot is generally lethal against any human enemy, but body shots are way less predictable, and getting accurate aim under pressure was tough in any case.
This happened to me in the demo, dude. It's no joke. When like a grenade goes off and you get concussed, you can't move really. Like you can like walk really slowly, but Skiff is kind of like, you can't even aim as quickly. You're kind of like, oh, holy shit, the fuck? And the enemies are just on you, bro, like white on right. Just, and you're like, shit, like, you do not want to get caught from out behind cover and with a grenade blast. And that's the thing, you don't even have to hit. If you get hit by the grenade blast, you're dead. You're fucking dead. But if you don't get hit by the blast, you still might be dead if you get concussed. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Case. Part of it is definitely due to elements of Stalker 2 that are meant to make the game more difficult and to make every fight feel intense.
That trench coat looks awesome on the
Bandit.
bandit.
There is a jankiness to fighting overall, though, that can get a little irritating. It's not uncommon to be peeking out.
What the hell did he just say? The fuck did he just say?
Tense and dangerous. There is a jankiness to fighting overall, though, that can get a little irritating. It's not uncommon to be peeking out of cover, blasting away at your foes, only to have another guy walk up right behind you and shoot you in the back of the head.
My brother in Christ, that is called flanking. It's called flanking. And they do it in real life. That's not jank. That's Stalker.
With no way of knowing who was there. And as mentioned, it can be tough to land accurate shots. At times I felt like I was dumping a whole magazine of bullets into one guy to little effect, while others went down immediately after one well-placed shot. Reloading the same small fire.
Yeah, how are you gonna say it's jank because a bandit snuck up on, like, bro, I'm sorry, skill issue. Skill issue. He's janking me. Yo, I love that spirit, dude. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna say that now when I'm playing the game. He's janking me. He's janking me. That's so fucking funny, dude. What? Yeah, that's skill issue. That's not jank, my guy. That ain't jank. Unless he teleported behind you like that Japanese meme.
Hey, life is looking good to hear, Keck.
Nothing personal, kid. And then just knifes you. Like, no, like, it ain't. It. Sorry, bro.
Firefights 4 or 5 times was a bit galling. But on the other hand,
I love seeing them on patrol and you're like peeking around the box. They don't just immediately know exactly where the fuck you are. Like, ooh, the prospect of being able to have more sneaky breaky scenarios is really, really alluring.
And getting walloped a few times in what was essentially my first battle impressed a key piece of information on me.
I love when the enemy is shooting at Skiff and you can see the smoke come off the walls from the rounds ripping through the wood.
About Stalker 2. Fighting is extremely dangerous.
The muzzle flash lighting up the room that you're in. Oh man, looks good.
And you should avoid it to wherever possible. The unreliability of combat feels intentional. The developers want you to be careful about taking on people you find out in the world and staying on guard to avoid bumbling into firefights. It also had me thinking twice about future side quests. Did I really want to walk into some meat grinder of a bandit camp just for a few coupons? Was the Stalker who gave me the job setting me up?
Dude, yeah, he's animating awesome.
These elements put a different spin on Stalker 2's open world that works well for making the place feel dangerous at all times. Even cooler were my chances to just explore the zone and encounter strange things.
The audio in the background of this clip is so perfect. So perfect. I mean, it always is, but it's so good in this clip.
Walking to any given place means what?
Look at the smoke. Like, there's more dense pockets of the smoke too, and you can see one right here. Like, it's so thick that it's actually occluding the tree. That's fucking awesome.
Walking to any given place means watching for and avoiding anomalies and mutants as well as humans. I found 2 stalkers running from twisted pigs called fleshes at a farm and watching as one barricaded himself in the farmhouse while the other was killed by the creatures. Killing the creatures showed that combat can be just as clunky against mutants as it is against humans. Moments like this, again, gave...
You say the word clunky, brother, but I do not think you know what that word means.
Stalker 2 a more awkward feel than most modern games tend to have. There's a degree to which Stalker 2 seems like it's right out of 2008, which gives it both a unique feel in keeping with its setting.
That's gotta be like the best thing I have heard all day. Didn't forget its roots.
In ideas, and sometimes makes it cumbersome to actually play. Later, I noticed another group of those same mutated pigs out in a field, with an anomaly floating nearby. This time, I drew their attention with a few gunshots and then stood with the anomaly between me and them, letting them charge right into it and implode in midair. It was as satisfying as a solution as it was efficient, and played into the idea of paying attention.
You can actually, that's so cool. That bubble has like multiple bubbles. It's hard to see. You'll have to, look for it yourself on, the 4K. But there's like a bubble here.
Oh no, he's clunking me.
There's a bigger bubble here, and then there's like a smaller bubble inside the bubble. Multiple bubbles. Bro, we got more bubbles than a bubble bath, baby.
Was efficient and played into the idea that paying attention and using your knowledge of the zone might be more interesting for gameplay experiences than relying on more run-of-the-mill video game elements like shooting. The combat feeling a little clunky and creaky, just like
go inside, go inside, go inside, go inside, go inside.
Encourages that approach.
No, don't stop. Fuck! I wanted to see the inside.
Particularly cool location.
Oh, that showed off the blinking really
well. Like in the
well.
Wizard of Oz, the poppies make anyone who strays into the field uncontrollably sleepy. But if you fall asleep here, you never wake up. Running around searching for a lost religious icon belonging to someone who used to live in the area before the accident, I had to keep chugging energy.
A religious icon, interesting.
At the same time, a wisp of
non-stop,
some kind of anomaly.
Can I say I wish it was that easy to find non-stop in real life? Come on, non-stop manufacturers. If you're watching this video, please bring it to the US. Let me tell you, sell like hotcakes, man. You got a good drink. It deserves to go global, man. Screw Monster, bro. Non-stop forever.
Is seemingly alive. Would whip through the field, bringing with it a stronger.
Oh wow, you could hear what sounded like a woman laughing. I wonder if Skiff is hallucinating about something.
Petals, some kind of anomaly, seemingly alive, would whip through the field.
Yeah, Nina's like, damn it, I'm so clumsy. It's almost like he's remembering memories of someone who lived in this house, or memories that maybe from his own personal life. Ooh, I wonder. Wasted, did you get to play a preview? I didn't. The people that were lucky enough to play were invited to Prague. But I really would love to play the game early if that is at all possible. Just saying, I'd be more than happy.
Bringing with it a stronger, deadlier dose of drowsiness. I finally found the icon.
But luckily, man, our man Starion got to play, dude. And that I am happy for. That's one of us right there. That's one of us, a pillar of the community. He was able to play, so I'm happy. If Starion played, that's just as good.
And got the hell out of there. After the screen went dark for so long, I was sure I'd succumbed to an endless slumber among the flowers. The time spent in the settlement and advancing Stalker 2's main story presented a different kind of tension. In the first town I ventured into, locals were in conflict.
Oh, okay, yeah, this looks like what we were hearing over the loudspeaker. Wow, look at this in the daytime. That double barrel shotgun, dude, looks so perfect.
Locals were in conflict with the Wardens, a military group working within the zone who were hunting a stalker they believed had murdered some of their men. To get information about your betrayer, you can choose to work either with some of the locals who want...
That radiation speckling effect is still one of my favorite new additions. Do I think they will give out early? I have no clue. No, I've not heard anything. And even if I did, I probably couldn't say. But no, I really haven't. I really haven't heard anything. I hope so. It would be really, really cool. The only thing I just don't want is just for like the if they do let people play early, it would drive me nuts if I couldn't play, because it'd be so hard, right? Like I'd be like, I can't look away, like I have to look at the game, but I want to have it in my hands. I want to have that experience, man. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm already fiending. I'm having withdrawals. I've already gotten to play the game, and I'm chopping at the bit for the next bite. For sure.
To protect the accused or work with the Wardens, taking on jobs for either one. If you talk to the Wardens, they'll send you a location where they think the murderer is hiding out.
I really hope we get a renaissance for cosplay with Stalker 2. I really hope people start making cosplay options available, because like people are always asking me, oh, where'd you get your sunrise suit? And like, there's nowhere to get a sunrise suit now. You can't buy them. It's like that ship sailed years ago. It's unfortunate, but we need to bring that back. Like, come on, man. We need to have some good options again.
Given to them by a local informant. It was pretty obvious to me the informant had lied, hoping the Wardens would bumble into a trap, especially as he gave me a stern warning to be...
Well, this is obviously Zalicia, and you can see the gigantic blimp right there. Oh, this train... I can't wait to examine the map. I know this is what Anomalous is going to be like, getting into the deep details.
I chose to work with the other group and discovered the man was actually hiding in a windmill full of booby traps, located in the complete opposite direction.
Oh, so that windmill's full of booby traps.
By
interesting.
Into a cave, killing an invisible mutant, and navigating a deadly anomaly
A
in order
bloodsucker?
to get him an artifact he needed. Though the
Okay, never. That does look like paint. Now that is yellow. Yeah, it is paint. It does look dialed back. That's okay. This I can live with. This looks okay. That's good. That's a lot better. Good job. That's a lot better.
Artifact he needed. Though the preview ended before I learned about the fallout of my actions, it was clear the occupying wardens weren't going anywhere and wouldn't be happy.
Dude, even in this video with the voiceover, I can tell when he shot that pistol that it was echoing like crazy off these walls.
If they never found their suspect. Navigating anomalies, navigating the open world and its mysteries, and navigating the politics of different competing factions all have me excited for Stalker 2. Its atmosphere of deadly, mysterious strangeness makes wandering its open
I love the
world
little ripples in the water the dog makes when it runs through it, man.
makes
That is just so cool.
navigating the open world and its mysteries and
fucking go.
navigating the politics of different competing factions all have me excited for Stalker 2. Its atmosphere of deadly, mysterious strangeness makes wandering its open world both alluring and frightening. Stalker 2 perfectly balances the desire to discover what's hidden out there, like a field of whispering poppies, with the unnerving knowledge that the zone is also full of things that can, and likely will, kill you. Though it can sometimes feel like a throwback to older games, especially in elements like its combat, it's that feeling that also makes Stalker both frightening and compelling.
Great preview. Great preview. Shit, I just realized we're out of material. No! We ran out. Oh no. That's all, isn't it? Shit. Oh wait, there's the article. Thank you, Mosey. We'll read this together before we call it quits for the evening. Interesting. There's a case to be made that Shadow of Chernobyl has endured the most turbulent development of any video game yet created. Facts. Facts.
November it is then.
100%. In the last 4 years alone, GSC Game World has weathered a pandemic, a war that still rages in the studio's native Ukraine. That's right. It's not the Ukraine. It's not the Soviet Union. It is Ukraine. I'll say again, Ukraine. Countless cyber attacks and leaked builds, and even a fire that gutted the server room of the studio's Prague office. Fuck, that was shitty. But Stalker 2 also faced its fair share of troubles before the dividing line of COVID-19. Yeah, people forget. People forgot COVID really quickly. That was not exactly an easy situation to handle either. Originally announced back in 2010. Oh God, for those of us who were there, we know that was hard times. 2011 specifically was hard times. That's when our hearts were crushed. Stalker 2 is supposed to launch 2 years later. God, you were never going to make that game in 2 years. What are you talking about? But that project slowly collapsed under circumstances that remain controversial, ultimately resulting in the dissolution of... this is dark times. Yep, we're talking about the dark times. GSC was revived in 2014. Oh my God, it's been that long. Its first project, the reignition of the Cossack series, the most based RTS. Stalker 2 was re-announced 4 years later, designed by a mostly new team with the studio's founder, the legendary Sergei Grigorovich, having largely retired from game development. All of which is vital context for understanding Stalker 2's development, but it also begs the question, what is the game that has emerged from all this? How much does this Stalker 2 relate to that initial project from 14 years ago? Well, if you know, you know. There are a lot of elements that were taken from the 2011 game that have made it into the final version we have here, and I am so glad, because there were such great concepts still, even with the 2011 version, and it's great that they didn't go to waste and that they have finally made it into Stalker 2 as they were intended. Does it achieve the series' long frustrated ambition? Of delivering a truly open world survival shooter? What do you mean? Okay, yeah, I follow you. The frustrating ambition. Yeah, there was a development term. Okay, I get a little defensive. And what, if anything, can Stalker 2 bring to the open world experience at a time when the genre has arguably seen its heyday? Bro, we're getting so many throwback games, honestly. This shit's fucking nuts. All right, let's see here. I posed the first of these questions to Yevgen, who is CEO of GSC, game director on Stalker 2, and also Sergei's brother. Hell yeah, brother. We didn't take anything from the first attempt, he says, while also clarifying that part of the reason why... What? What? We didn't take anything from the first attempt. What? Maybe he means gameplay. Because I know for a fact that it's not when it comes to art or certain artistic concepts, we'll say. I'll try and keep it more broad so I don't pigeonhole myself. But to say they didn't take anything from the first attempt, the 2012 build, that is what I'm talking about. I mean, point blank, the poppy field was conceptually taken from the 2011 project. And that is all that I will say on stream. But I know that 2011 ideas have returned. But I think he's basically trying to say, you know, like that the game is its own thing now. Because, yeah, Stalker 2 of today, like Stalker 2 in 2011 wasn't even a game, really. You know what I mean? It was mostly like X-ray engine getting put together and like a bunch of assets. But there wasn't really like a game, at least with what we got that leaked out. That, you know, because even from the leak, Desowave had been, I think, working on a few of the maps that ended up being a part of that. And it wasn't so much as a leak as much as like GSC gave like the blessing for it to be released, and then it got released. I remember it ended up hitting the front page of DSO Online or whatever. But yeah, so it wasn't a game, so I don't disagree with him, but there were definitely certain conceptual things that were taken or looked at or honored. Even some of the buildings. That's all I'm going to say, though. While also clarifying that part of the reason why development of Stalker 2 was stopped was in fact down to Sergei's departure. Interesting. The original studio head having found the process of game making exhausting. He's not wrong. In his brother's words, and so ultimately choosing to move on to other interests. The standard changed and we couldn't take that content we had previously. This doesn't just mean mechanical or technological features, even the narrative elements of the original Stalker 2 were thrown out according to Grigorovic. We were doing it from scratch based on the Stalker 1 lore. Okay. The second question I'll answer myself. I spent 3 hours with Stalker 2 last week, experiencing its first 2 chapters at the office. Based on what I've played, Stalker 2 seems to be precisely what GSE promised. A survivalist shooter that takes place in a seamless open world, which is every bit as weird and uncompromising as the zone featured in the original trio of games. Music to my ears. As for that final question, well, that requires a longer answer. Stalker 2's introduction directly calls back to Shadow of Chernobyl, with your character being driven through the exclusion zone on the back of a flatbed lorry. Unlike the original, you're not a nameless amnesiac stalker, you're Skiff, a young stalker who has teamed up with a scientist named Herman to conduct a clandestine experiment in the zone, using a particularly unusual artifact. While the background of both characters is only thinly sketched out, one thing is clear enough. Skiff is desperate for whatever reward he expects for his work, and he'll either come back with results or not come back at all. Based. Alright, yeah, this is pretty, like, overview. Like, come on, any juicy details, though? Come on. Here we go. 2 things I took away from Stalker 2's first chapter. It's a much slicker and more polished experience than any of the earlier Stalker games. Well, there's your answer. That was a question before. Do I think the game's going to be polished on launch? Yep. From the stunningly moody environment design to the more grounded, tangible... Oh, shit. I forgot to turn the chat box back on, like, a while ago. Whoopsies. My bad. I died twice during this tutorial sequence. Once to a bandit that flanked me during a firefight, and once to a toxic anomaly in a cave while failing to root out a valuable artifact hidden somewhere inside. Naturally, things don't go according to plan for Skiff, and the tutorial ends with him having all his gear nicked by another stalker before... Yeah, you know, we know this. I mean, this is great. It's great. I love it. Great. Damn it. I hate when they give you just like these super weirdy... Or not weirdy. Hey, my man. Prison Pocket with the sub.
Oh yeah, I can catch this live.
Yeah, buddy. It's on the tail end, man. It's been a long one. You'll have to catch it from the beginning, bro. There's some epic shit, man. It's been some epic. Oh my god. Don't you hate with these articles how they always like will basically give you the basic overview of like the gameplay footage that they just showed and described to you? It's like they're killing me with like the redundancies here sometimes. Like, how are you going to tell me some of the similarities are very specific? Aim down the sights of your weapon, for example. You're going to tell me that aiming down the sights of your gun is a feature in a first-person shooter game? Like this? Like that's something? Like that's a bullet point to bring up, to explain? Really? And this is Eurogamer.net for real? Oh, come on. I know they do better than this. Come on. All right. This is killing me. Yeah, this is killing me. This is some fucking Cuphead tutorial shit. I'm sorry. I know I am a jaded son of a gun, but I mean, come on. A man can only take so much. Jeez Louise. Oh, dude, the ribs. Yeah. I need 4K images of the ribs at night, sunset, actually just give me the ribs at every time of day so I can set my wallpaper to rotate through them. I agree. Good idea, TJ. Good idea. All right, let's see here. We wanted to make a very story-driven game with a lot of narrative. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, yeah. According to Grigorovich, this has been a major focus of the sequel's development. We wanted to make a very...
I got to step away because I'm playing in a cyberpunk game, but I wanted to give you your flowers. Keep it going, my boy.
My man. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you. Good luck, by the way, in that game. Kick ass. Take names. We wanted to make a very story-driven game with a lot of narrative content. It's definitely not a Baldur's Gate. My brother, you're underselling the game. I feel like this story is probably going to feel more rich than... I haven't played Baldur's Gate. I can't say that. Yeah, I'm biased. But I mean, don't undersell it, my man. Like, Stalker 2 looks like it's got peak narrative. Like, let's be honest here. Absolute peak narrative. But it still has a lot of different lines, different branches, and even inside one dialogue, you often have a lot of options. Okay. He's basically talking about how they want to heighten the role-playing elements. That's great. We like to see that. We actually want to see that play out, and that's good. And we trust GSC to follow through with that. Okay, here it goes. Tonally, the writing is nowhere near as nuanced when comparing it to Baldur's Gate. What does that mean? Oh, at least not in the English language version. Of course, the Ukrainian is going to be the most authentic experience. I don't know. I feel like they're underselling it a little bit. Come on now. You guys have a masterpiece on your hands. While Stalker 2's extra narrative heft is surprising, this is a series that has always thrived on its systems. Well, that's facts. No one's going to argue on that. How the zone and its inhabitants interrelate with the player. Stalker, in one sentence, the easiest way to describe it is you are one gear in a very large machine, and the machine doesn't give a shit about you. It is completely agnostic to your presence and existence, and you can die and it wouldn't blink, and the dogs would and that's the best part in Stalker, in the trilogy, right? Like, remember in Shadow of Chernobyl when you would die and the dogs would just chew on your body and like pull it down the field? Like, you didn't have to load your game. Like, a lot of the times when you die in other games, like, it immediately loads your game. You could just watch your dead corpse in Stalker for however long you wanted to, and the zone would interact with it. And it's those little details that, man, like, hardcore Stalker fans know, remember, and love. Like, that's good. I hope that we can have more of that. I know we've seen the death screen. It's not like it was back in the day. You know, it's not going to be exactly the same in that way. But it would be cool, you know, just to see the dogs doing those behaviors with other bodies in the gameplay itself. Like, keep the spirit of those elements, for sure. All right. So, yeah, this is basically them giving kind of like a high overview. I thought we were going to get, like, something a little bit more specific out of this. Oh, here we go. He's talking about the game. While I can't speak to Stalker 2 as a whole, the chunk I saw seemed highly dynamic and laced with emergent potential. Such flexibility isn't exclusive to the open world either. It's also weaved into quests and the campaign. To find Squint, for example, you can complete a couple of sub-objectives the game points you toward, or you can do what I did, which is just find them. A landmark caught my eye, and I decided to explore it. I won't say which landmark. Let me guess, it was the fucking windmill. Like, everybody played the first 3 hours of the game, and I've seen these areas. Like, we can draw. I'm just assuming. It sounds like it. Let's see here. The narrative smoothly adapted to oh, it just happened to be where Squint was holed up. Well, now I know where Squint is. He's in the windmill. Okay, so the narrative smoothly adapted to this. Moving on to the next phase of the mission, where you can choose to kill Squint on Zotov's behalf. Am I saying that right? Zotov? That sounds like that one movie, Zohan, or the Zohan, or is it Zoltan, or I can't remember what the fuck that name of that movie is. Remember, I think it's like, Dude, Where's My Car? They're like, Zoltan. All right. You can choose to kill Squint on Zotov's behalf, or help him escape the zone by retrieving an artifact from a nearby anomaly. This kind of reactivity is what GSE hopes will mark Stalker 2 out from other open world games. A lot of games provide you a lot of freedom of movement where you move, but not so much branching in how your story would develop next. And that's true. When we are developing the experience we want to provide for the player, we never look at how they did it in this game or that open world game, because we know that we are a very different game from the beginning. Facts. It's just so reassuring that the people in charge of this know exactly how to approach it. The surprises didn't end there either. I agreed to help Squint by retrieving the artifact and descended into a cave system for a fraught encounter with a bloodsucker. Okay, so this looks like the footage that we saw before, and that guy was describing fighting the same bloodsucker. A tentacle-faced mutant that can turn invisible, but after defeating the creature and retrieving the artifact, I received a mission failed notification. Excuse me, Stalker 2, but don't you mean mission succeeded? I soon found out that the game was in the right, as upon returning to Squint's hidey hole, I discovered that he was dead. Fuck yeah. A-Life is back. Awesome. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can tell when something is very gamey, because Squint would just, in any other game, Squint would just sit in the fucking windmill for 10 years and just wait for you to come cash in the quest. You could go pick up the artifact, and you could go probably play all the way to the end of Stalker 2, be at the CMPP, and Squint's still sitting in the windmill waiting for you to cash in. It's like, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, it's a game. It's a game. But this makes it feel like a living, breathing world where things exist and happen even when you're not there, to experience, to see them for yourself. And while so many other developers would look at that and be like, but that's not satisfying to the player if they can't see it for themselves. Like I'm not a fucking person with a brain or an intellectual who can appreciate the things that happen that when I'm not present for. Because if I have to be there for everything, then it's just a Marvel movie, and we're back on the rails, and we're back to, it's a linear experience, and we want the player to experience everything just as we've designed it. It's like, you need to have some dynamics. And that's what we have here. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Keep it dynamic. It's so good. Don't change that. Oh, it's so good. So good. He says, I'm still not entirely clear what happened. You weren't quick enough, sorry. Whether a mutant or bandit had rocked up and killed. Here's what I think happened. When he went to find Squint, he probably either disarmed or triggered the traps. And so whatever other A-Life entity, whether it was a bandit or otherwise, was able to just come right in and not trigger the traps and kill Squint. So if you were going to play this quest and you wanted to be smart and you're like, well, I don't want Squint to die, what can I do to prevent that? I will not disable his traps. It'd be really cool if you could place your own. If you wanted to protect an NPC from possible fuckery with A-Life, where you leave some, like, you know, a tripwire or something by a door so that it would trigger. Now, obviously, you're probably not going to get like a lot of dynamic items like that. When we saw the footage by the church, you know, it seemed like Metro Exodus, where they're kind of in fixed places, like maybe certain like traffic areas or something like that, which is cool. But, you know, there's always like a way to handle those situations. So that's what I would do with Squint, for example. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a claymore or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? All right, here we go. And I asked the developer supervising the session if this was supposed to happen, to which he shrugged, explaining that Squint was not a particularly important character. That's so fucking awesome. This certainly proved true. Despite failing to help Squint, the story continued unhindered, and I got to sell the artifact I found for a nice cash bonus. Awesome. Awesome. It reminds me of Morrowind, where a key character could die and the game would just tell you in a pop-up, be like, well, the ties of reality have been severed. You can continue in the world of your creation, or you could load a previous save to continue the main plot. And I remember thinking that was just the greatest thing ever. How many times did you guys, you know, for my fellow old heads that played a shit ton of that game, how many times did you just go into Balmora City and just go on like a murder rampage? So good. You just load your game. But it was cool because it wasn't like Oblivion and later games where like you kill a key character and they'd be like, "Rah!" And then they'd get up and they'd be like, "Hello, traveler," like completely ignorant to the fact that you just bludgeoned them with a claymore and shit. Like that always was like, this is fucking comical. Like there was something lost with role playing when we move forward into games like that, in my opinion. So I like seeing stakes come back, like high stakes. Not everybody is guaranteed to live for you. So that's cool, man. Holy cow. That was a lot of good media. That was a lot of good media. That is really good. I hope we do get a new trailer. This is going to be freaking sweet. And with the Xbox event tomorrow, I think it's probably a guarantee. Let's be honest. It's probably a guarantee. But we will have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I think we'll go ahead. We'll probably go ahead and cut it here. On the next stream, I do want to have a chance to do like a community discussion in the voice chat, but I didn't realize that we were going to have so much media and there was going to be so much to cover. It's like almost 10 o'clock and I haven't eaten dinner, so I'm going to grab a bite here. But yeah, 3-hour sex scene with Richter reveal tomorrow. Fucking, of course.